Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I don't know why I sounded like a baseball announcer right there. Welcome to the Boxing Championship Extraordinaire. Boxing? Yeah, I can't make up my mind. I'm indecisive. Woo! I'm making a Discord announcement. Because the Discord bot hasn't done it yet. I'm gonna add everyone, not just at member. Because I'm just such a fucking gangster like that.
Wow.
Alright.
Sure got him.
Do you want me to turn up the volume for you, Mari? From these?
Yes.
Damn.
I realize I have a
You have to pee?
and
That's cool.
Tom's in the bathroom maybe.
Palm is definitely in the bathroom. I just realized that the game is like the volume is not even that loud. Audio, it just says on. I can't turn up the volume in the game. It just says on.
Love to see it.
Mm-hmm. Alright, anyways, chat, welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. It's fine, you'll just miss the music, but that's nothing too serious. I'll take these. Alright, chat. Last time we left off, our good old buddy Kazuma, definitely not Mishima. Kazuma Mishima, he died. And they think we killed him. But we have to prove our innocence. Oh yeah, it's getting a little loud. Hold up. I'm gonna turn my volume down. But we are ready to fight for the truth. And other cool shit. So if y'all are down for that, I'm down for that. Let's get it poppin', chat. By the way, did you guys hear that RE4 is getting remake? I'm playing that shit day one. Playing that shit day one, boys. Oh my god. Yes. Back at the lab again. So basically last time we were here, my internet died like the second that we were trying to do this. So we basically left off right where the internet crashed last time. That's a huge book on top of the table there, and there's a pen next to it. Yes, that looks like the ship's log. Shall we have a little look through it? Let's do it. Da-da-da-da. The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded. By the way, chat, I'm a little bit sick today still with a cold. Anything serious. So my voices for the characters today might be a tad different because I don't want to kill myself by doing something intense on my throat. You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. ... And nothing. No reaction at all. I thought he might appreciate the compliment. I'm not sure that rough and ready is much of a compliment, Naruhodo-san, even to a sailor. Anyway, last night's log is mostly blank. Presumably that means there was nothing to report. How you doing, sir? Excuse me, but can I ask you something? You little stowaway murderer. That wasn't a good start, was it? Alright, let me try instead. Okay. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but can I perhaps ask something of you? You little third-class ladies' maid. That wasn't a good start either. Oh. We seem to have caught the sailor on a bad day, Susato-san. I am not sailor. My mother gave me name. I am Senior Crewman Beef Stroganoff. Oh my fucking god. It's Beef Stroganoff. Phew, the best thing is just to avoid eye contact, I think. First class cabin area. Mr. Stroganoff, about this first class cabin area. Here we are in finest part of Buria steamship. Very important persons. What sort of very important persons? Government officials, kings and queens traveling in secret, many important persons. That is why I'm always guarding this place. Gosh, that's amazing. But somehow I let stupid stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you in the ocean, but Stroganoff is not animal. Thank you? If I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's currently occupied? Duh. Suzata-san, did you understand that? It sounded like duh. I think it's probably Russian for yes or no. Genius. Mari, this guy is a Russian sailor and his name is Beef Stroganoff. Spelled B-I-F, Stroganoff.
IF.
Yeah, Beef Stroganoff. It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. Well, it sounds like there is somebody in the next door cabin at least. Yes, it's tantalizing.
There's at least one chick that looks like that.
And
Always.
last night. What were you doing last night, sailor? Oh, were you on watch here all the time, Seaman Stroganoff? Duh, all time. So criminals like you cannot come in or get out. I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all? Was jackhammering penis in corner when I heard the murder. It is sad about student boy. Were you on watch last night as well? Of course. And did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? Beef Stroganoff. Hit! Suzata-san, did you understand that?
He's Russian.
Oh, it's
right?
niet. It was clearly a no. Yeah, he's Russian. That was
That
niet.
sounds French.
Niet is
No,
Russian.
you sound like you're doing a French accent.
I'm sorry about that. I saw nothing unusual, nothing at all. And you didn't hear any strange noises? Or sense anything was wrong in some way? I said no. Sorry. Let me flex my muscles that I used to jackhammer my small big penis. I'm not so sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. Passenger in the next door cabin. Could you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's? His name is Mr. Grimsby Roylott. He is very important Western gentleman. A Western gentleman? Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with murder of student boy. How can you be so sure about that?
I was spending my night.
I was balls deep in the man last night. Mr. Roylott is authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would have no interest in lowly student from insignificant Far East islands.
Bless.
That was
His mouth
harsh.
just filled with my God.
More racism. More casual racism. Could you tell us when Mr. Roylott came aboard? That is not your business.
Yes, yes.
Business. Come to think about it, even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now and I've been in Kazuma's cabin the entire time, I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like there's anyone there. Well, presumably, since this gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins, he must be rather important. Is that right? Important as these knots. It is not your business. Important enough to take my dick to shaft ball. This is enough. I cannot say more now. Oh. It is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin. Yes, alright. Bulkhead to second class area staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on top of a mountain. Or as English say, when the pigs fly. Yes, I understand. Good. Now we can investigate this area properly, shall we? Definitely. Yeah, fuck him. Examine. So we've... Yeah, get a whiff of his ass. Alright, no. B, look around. Fuck yeah. Caution. What's this? What's this? What do you think this is? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it? It's
Hey,
kind of
yo.
sus. That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it. Oh, an alarm. It says press only in times of emergency. It looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship and brings the vessel to a complete stop. Oh, this I have to see. What are you doing, Naruhodo-san? You mustn't touch it. But this is an emergency situation. Just look at these handcuffs. You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. Look at the pose. Damn, shoddy. If you were to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'd be in an even worse situation. I wish everything would just stop. This ship included. If you have to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else. Damn, wrist her down bad? I have my girlfriend right here. What are you talking about? Alright, let's head in.
Mr. Bad.
I am sometimes.
Mr. Baddie.
am I a baddie?
Uncertified. Yeah.
Uncertified baddie. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to. Do you think the imposter vented? Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. It was clearly a penis. Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask.
And rip down their pants just to make sure.
Yeah. Knock, knock. I'm pausing here for dramatic effect.
Make it more like.
Dot, 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 dot. No answer. Guess we'll just have to break in.
Your mom.
We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries. I thought Herlock was in there. How annoying. Hey, what was that for? It came from inside the cabin. Such a high-pitched scream. It must have been a woman. Stand aside.
Rude.
I'm about to break the door down. Mr. Sholmes! Yo, he just popped out of fucking nowhere. I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in kicking doors off their hinges. Please, wait, Mr. Sholmes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted. It doesn't? Then how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? What prey can I kick? I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress relief. Fuck yeah. Right, someone is getting railed in here. 9th January, SS Buria, first class cabin number 2. Fucking hey, shot. Who are you? A Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. We heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be absurd. I have scissors. I cut penis off. I woman now. As you can see, there's nobody with me in this cabin. There's a plate on the ground. True, this old man does appear to be the only person in here. But in that case, who just screamed? Get out, all of you. Now. Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimsby Roylott, I believe. Under the bed? Yeah, chat, probably. Yes, that's me, and you are. I am the one and only, the actual Herlock Sholmes. You've heard of me, no doubt. No. I'm a great detective among great detectives. One who adorns the covers of popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you may trust me completely. The man uses that magazine like a business card. A detective? I do not trust detectives. I distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So might I be so bold as to ask you to open that small traveling case? What? Don't be stupid. How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk. Don't look at me. I fucking knew it. Oh my, did you see that, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, the case just shook. It is my pet frog. Roylott Jr. Leave now, otherwise I'll call the steward. So this is Kazuma's neighbor, Mr. Grimsby Roylott. Is it Grimsby Roylott? I don't know. There's no doubt about it. This strange Russian man is hiding something. I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues about before that burly sailor returns. Yeah, fucking... Hey, shoddy! What's up? Gay, pompous man over there, but I have... What do you think you're doing? Okay. Guess not. This is my cabin. Get out. Can we just have a quick look inside your traveling case, perhaps? No! What a pity. I think we're out of luck. I think you're right. There doesn't appear to be anything more we can do. I agree. But there may be someone else who can help. Perhaps that great detective could get somewhere with Mr. Roylott. Well, first, I want to talk with Mr. Roylott. Last night. Mr. Roylott, we'd like to talk to you about something. No. Oh. I do not want to talk. Leave my cabin now. This is going terribly. We're not getting anywhere here. I agree, but there may be someone else who can... Okay, I'm gonna waste my time if I keep talking to him. Alright, I'm not even gonna bother talking about the other shit. Yeah. What's up, Shotty? Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes? You need only address me as Sholmes. That's what I just did, isn't it? Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing in there? Why, I was resting, of course. Resting? Indeed. I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe whilst waiting. Waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of detection into service. Oh, and it would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken? Do you want to do butt stuff with me? Well, no, actually, you're spot on for once. Observe closely.
Wait, what?
The butt stuff. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Roylott, is clearly trying to hide something. And do you know what is the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Why? The truth, of course. Though it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusive for the Russians. Right. Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secrets he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it? Oh yes, please. Penis powers activate. Well then, what you are about to see may well astound you. Zip. For I'm about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Greato. Fucking hit us with it, Sholmes. First of all, can we have him drop the scissors? Could this man be a more hack-eyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? What? From time to time, it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubiousness? Casual racism. I really don't think either one of those things should be occurring to you, or anyone. That's right, and Mr. Sholmes. I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment. Shh! I must have complete silence. I thought he was gonna be... Oh, man. What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? I knew it. Just as I thought. A pimple. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accompanies all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you are about to end the existence of something most dear. Are you not? Yeah. What do you mean holding sharp weapon make me look suspicious? Impossible. And number two, the other conclusion I have drawn. You are, at this very moment no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you've been discovered. Aren't I so wonderful? Haha, does it not? Ugh. Oh, Naruto-san, I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sholmes' great deductions with my own eyes. That was a great deduction? Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person. What? What infable twaddle? Now I sound British. Oh yes, I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. And now I've experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true. I can hardly believe it, but all the color has drained from Mr. Roylott's face. Looks like somehow both Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right. Yeah, you do. Because I'm a fucking person with like 2 brain cells, you wish to say? Because I'm British. Very well then. I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So do I cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us board the train of reasoning in my 2-hour slideshow presentation. Put plainly, let us work through my deductions together. Fuck yeah, dude! Game is a foot. Great deduction. Oh shit! Topic 1, old. Oh my god, what is happening right now? Okay. Deduction time? Are we in a minigame right now? So the dubious-looking Russian Mr. Roylott obviously what catches the eye in the first place. He's just standing, like, I would just like to think that, like, during the middle of this, he just fucking stabs him in the chest with the scissors. Like, dude, this man is clearly armed and dangerous. Is the enormous pair of shears in your hand? Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want to such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. To shave your beard. You're on the verge of using the shears to cut away that copious beard, you sport. Now moving on. The question then begged is this. How can one man have such gay tension as I? Why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylott? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Ugh. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular the fascinating front page article, which it would appear you have read also, Mr. Roylott. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. In translation, the headline reads... I'm sorry, I had a gay frog in my throat. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. Is his name actually Villain Bolshevik? That's fucking hilarious. You cannot fail to observe the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, Villain Bolshevik. Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand. Jesus. Okay, Sherlock. I mean, Herlock. Fuck yeah. Topic 2, wrongdoing. You were in the clearly midst of butt sex. Now, as far as my second conclusion. I don't know. This game, just, you can't tell me they don't have some gay vibes going on. Especially Herlock. Only Sholmes. You are at this very moment on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. Oh, yeah. Ugh. And the proof of this crime, over there. Oh, yes, Mr. Roylott. Taken unawares? What the fuck? People have a fucking British words to let their eyes stray, you see. Ugh. As I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. Thought I said fugitive. The proof on the crime says before our very eyes. Yes, the traveling case. It is time, I think, that the case be opened and its contents laid bare. No, I refuse. What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation. A young lady, perhaps. One slight enough to fit therein. Don't be absurd. And what, pray, would be the identity of this young lady in the traveling case? It's probably the fucking dancer that went missing in the other side of the newspaper. Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? You careless coup d'etat betrays you. I don't know if I pronounced that right at all. No, that was not coup d'etat, because coup d'etat looks way different. Coup d'etat is spelled differently. That's like coup d'etat or whatever. Because coup d'etat is like D-E-T-A-T. I've seen it. Yeah, but that's not coup d'etat. No shot. No coup de shot, as you might say. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refused to open your traveling case can equally be found in the pages of this newspaper. For there's another most stimulating article. I knew it. I can call this shit. If we turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us but to one conclusion. I'm gay. Your crime is that of abduction. And according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. I love pavlovas. They're delicious and crispy and marshmallowy. Flips hat gaily. This concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this Russian enigma. Elemensky. Wow. Fucking... What a glorified cutscene. Dot, 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 dot. Suzada-san, that wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing so much about, was it? Well, the stories are full of Mr. Sholmes' brilliant deductions, you know? But that did seem a little different, somehow. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, could you, like, grow in size again? Could you come over here a moment? What's up? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about your deductions. Would you mind? Not at all. Go on. Well, to start with, there's the newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but... These two men look nothing like each other. Ah, yes, I recall our discussion earlier. And at the time, I believe I told you that the man is a revolutionary, well able to revolutionize his own appearance. In fairness to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Roylott does look more like this man than you do. That's not the point. And another thing, the part about him abducting the ballerina? Indeed, a truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. Not just at first glance, it is too small, clearly. You'd be lucky to fit a 5-year-old child into that case, even if you pushed really hard. I don't suppose the missing ballerina is a 5-year-old child, is she? You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15. No, I didn't know. How could I? Well, if she's 15, then 10 years' worth of her would be poking out of the case. Some years ago, I read something pertinent, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain litheness in their bodies. It's called kombucha. Have you ever heard of it? Vinegar. For such a sour bunch, it would surely be simplicity itself to contort oneself into the confines of that small case. Oh dear. You might be thinking of contortionists in the circus, Mr. Sholmes. This whole thing is turning into a circus. Mr. Naruhodo, something has occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deductions just now. I think his powers of observation are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of the matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs his attention and his logic that seems a little off. Your idea of a little may be a little off itself, Mr. Zato. It's just one or two keywords in his deduction that seem to let him down. So I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives. What do you think? Switch some keywords in his deductions. Yes, but very tactfully. I feel sure if we could do that, we'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholmes' great deduction. Precisely the thought that was going through my own mind. Because I'm just so gay and magnificent. This man is a lot of work. At times, I wonder how anyone puts up with me. Well, he's on the cover of the game, so I'm assuming he's not.
Guilty.
It's not that funny. And you, my good fellow. Sorry? Take a moment to look at your wrists. My wrists? Oh. Where are your handcuffs? I ate them. Huh? How did... Crunch. I felt they may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction. I don't believe it. Mr. Sholmes, you are a marvel.
He's just a glorified magician.
I'm in the MCU, a marvel indeed. And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrists when we are finished. I'm not worried. In fact, I'd rather stay like this. So, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Oh my fucking god. Okay, here we go. Course correction. Hold it. Alright. Let's go into it. I like how this guy's just been standing here so politely the whole time. So the dubious-looking Russian Mr. Roylott obviously would catch the eye in the first place. Okay, so he's going through what he said. He's going through what he said as well. What could you possibly want with such an implement? I don't think he's shaving his beard. I think he's trying to murder somebody. Your cubby's beard you sport. Question mark. Yeah, right there. I'm not sure. Would you really use shears like that to cut off a beard? I doubt that's something I'll ever have to worry about. It doesn't quite sit right with me, though. It doesn't seem to be sitting right with Mr. Roylott either.
He just said his testosterone wasn't enough.
He's a sissy. Which means I suppose that the deduction is wrong. Let's try to switch a keyword here, Naruto-san, and see if it helps matters. Alright, but how? I think we should start by taking a long, hard look at Mr. Royla. I wonder if it's really his beard that he intended to use those shears on. It's his dick! Exactly. If we do manage to find something that seems to fit the sense of Mr. Sholmes' deductions better, then what? Then I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruto-san. Why am I the one to do something about this? Well, anyway, let's see if there's anything we could even use to switch around in that last sentence. What exactly was Mr. Royal really going to use those enormous shears for? Fucking thick hat, copious beard, coal buttons. No shot. Is it the hat? Is he gonna cut his hat? It's a very thick hat, isn't it? Oh, that's the secret you see, Naruto-san. Don't you know? Secret? What? Well, before we left Japan, I took some time to study various foreign countries. Russia is a land of unimaginable cold. And the thick hat is the secret to keeping warm. Without one, I read that your brain would freeze. That was just one of many fascinating snippets of information in Oh Mother, Not Russia. I think maybe you picked the wrong book there. Oh wait, can I look around more? Okay, am I just like examining fucking everything? Maybe hair? I can't look at the hair. What about coat buttons? What she sees. What are you are you looking at the buttons of the coat? Could it be that Mr. Roylott was planning to cut these off? Oh, why? Well, when you're wearing thick gloves, it can be very hard to undo buttons. Then couldn't you just take off your gloves first? Aha! So he was going to use the scissors to cut his gloves off then. I want you to take a deep breath and look at this from a fresh perspective, Naruto-san. Oops. I think she's angry. Can I look around? Oh, I have to use the arrow. Excuse me, sir. I seem to have noticed a contradiction.
I think something's a bit off.
Something's a bit off. What's this? It looks like a cascade of stunning golden locks. No, the color is not the point. The point is, what's it doing on the back of Mr. Rolat's head? And how is it growing out from underneath his thick black hair? Oh yes, that's true. It's so stunningly beautiful and stunningly surprising. Something's definitely not right here.
He's not right.
Present! Yes! Golden lock. There we go. Fuck yeah, dude! You are on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks you sport. Indeed, you have identified the precise detail I was intending to expose. Such lush golden hair certainly does not befit an old man. You are not a man at all. You're a woman. And judging from the length and sheen, like, he kind of left into that conclusion a little bit. And judging from the length and sheen of your hair, one is still very much in her youth. Oh no. If only I'd managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected. The question then begged is this: why would you desire to rid yourself of these magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity in the article about the revolutionary. Right there. Other article, dumbass. Well, that was a shock. I had no idea that old man was really a young woman in disguise. Did you? It's kind of hot. What? Why are you staring at me like that? Yes, it was a surprise. Naruto-san, you're enjoying this, aren't you? Sorry? You have a thing for her, don't you? You look like you're in your element as you dance around the room deducing the facts with Mr. Sholmes. I'm just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. Baka, this is strictly business. Yes, I understand. Say no more. Well, anyway, let's focus on this next part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction, shall we? The evidence that he's picked out doesn't fit the facts at all now. No, that's true, given that Mr. Roylott is actually a woman. Exactly. He, or rather she, cannot possibly be this merciless revolutionary. I suppose it's because the deduction as a whole has taken a different direction now. Yes. What's up, chicken? How's it going, man? Let's switch the evidence to something else, something that fits the facts as we understand them. For some reason, this woman needed to try and hide her true identity. What good? What about you? I'm doing great. Thank you very much for asking, man. I feel as though I've either read or heard about a young woman in a situation like that recently. All right, I'll do my best. Oh, Kazuma. Yes! Yes, that one. ballerina. The evidence that reveals your true identity is, of course, the article about the ballerina. That's right, you've hit the nail on the head. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear we are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of the Novovich Ballet's prima ballerina. Miss Nikolina Pavlova. Ah! Oh! Damn, shoddy. Ow. There's blood splays everywhere. Shoddy, like a melody. Okay. Keep the hat, though. Hat kind of cute. What would you look at? You're right.
Dude, how did she lose all that?
Right?
No, like, it was bigger. Like, did she just, like, take pillows out while it was, like, going to...
I don't know. My real name is Nina. Nina! I mean, Nikolina Pavlova. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone. Bam. That's just topic number 1. Oh, bruh. Wrongdoing. Well, it's definitely not that one, Sholmes. Wrongdoing? Oh, I was about to make a joke. They would have said it in the time, but I don't know. Now, as far as my second conclusion, you are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime, over there. Oh yes, Miss Pavlova. Taken unawares, people of propriety to let their eyes astray, you see. Again, as I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls.
You are an old man, and here's why.
Yup.
And she's like, yeah.
Yeah, shawty.
Sure.
This woman is the ballerina, and she's right in front of our eyes.
It's a cat.
So clearly she can't be inside that traveling case as well. Oh, it would be amazing if it was a cat. No, that's right. It seems she wasn't abducted at all. In which case, what is the crime this young woman is apparently committing? Huh. I can see I'm gonna have to step in and fix the great detective's mistake again. Oh, it's probably stealing at least the diamond that went missing as well. You seem to look pleased now, Hoda-san. Do you like the idea of another chance to dance around to Mr. Sholmes? Sure, but like not in a gay way or anything. Stop it. Anyway, there must be something else here that shows what this woman is up to. Can we just open the case? Excuse me here, ma'am.
Yes.
I'll take some, yes. Thank you. The paper of your crime is really dry. I believe this tiara was worn on stage by dancers at the Novovich Ballet, is it not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in this newspaper. Which is not covering up, might I add, your big-ass forehead! She's like, she starts crying.
That's why I'm on the run.
I'm on the run to shave my forehead. If the reporting is to be believed, it's an item worth 20,000 rubles, which is like $5 in America nowadays, in summary. The crime you have committed is theft. Oh no! Don't arrest me, I'm so sexy. Yes, you left your ballet troupe unlawfully taking their precious tiara with you. Ah! Oh, take it up. Forehead time? No, I thought it was forehead time. What? I have no one, no family, no friends. Just my cat, Sparkles. I need money. I did not steal the tiara. It was a present from, how do you say, an Earl of Prussia. It belongs to me. This girl is only 15 years old, and she's run away all by herself. She must have been extremely lonely. What a dumb bitch. Like Rianowski is like, did I say that out loud? Alright, I will tell you everything. There is no point to hiding it now. Come, come, let us not be hasty. What? There remains one unsolved mystery about you. Mystery? What do you mean? What the fuck is in your case? You have staunchly refused to open this traveling case of yours in our presence. It is reasonable to conclude, therefore, that there exists some reason why you wish it to remain closed. Your kitty cat, perhaps. Is that not so, Miss Pavlova? Cat murdered Kazuma. My dear girl, there is no sense in playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention. Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of your case, even before I've ever laid eyes on them. Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup de boil to chase you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason why you refused to open your case is written in the books on the shelf. Nope, not it. He's completely changed tack with his deduction now. I think Mr. Sholmes is adapting his logic to the changing circumstances, don't you? Maybe, but why has he suddenly brought up the bookshelf into all this? It's just a wild guess, surely. Oh, do you think so? Well, it doesn't seem likely that the reason why this young woman doesn't want to open her case would have been written in a book that doesn't even belong to her. Yes, that's true. But still, Miss Pavlova certainly did cast her eyes in that direction. I noticed it myself. Then there has to be another reason why she won't open her case. And it must be somewhere in the same area if that's where her gaze was involuntarily drawn. I agree. That's the only answer. Whatever she has hidden inside that case should be revealed by following her gaze in the direction of the bookcase. Could be small picture. Maybe there's something behind it. This is a charming little picture, isn't it? What is it? Someone climbing a steep mountainside? A blur? Or descending one, it seems to me. When you've been on the flat sea for a while, maybe you start seeing hills and mountains and everything. Can I look down at all? Is it... Okay, well, let's try the rules. Oh, the rules! There's no animals on board. It is a cat! These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Burya. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. I remember I told you about this because Sasato went, I'm not sure if you're a dangerous weapon or a pet. And I told you that that's how I'm going to ask everyone if they're a top or a bottom from now on.
It's a cat!
It's a cat. It's a cat.
Because ballerinas love cats because cats are natural ballerinas.
There was exactly the same notice in our cabin too. I wonder what happens if you break the rules. Oh dear, I'm sure the punishment would be severe, Naruhodo-san. You'd probably be left adrift in the freezing cold ocean. Or shut inside a tiny wardrobe for days on end. So I've actually been serving time for weeks now, have I?
Yes!
Yes! Rules of passage. Yes, the reason why you refused to open your case is written in the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Inside that case of yours is something forbidden from the carriage on this vessel. That is the real reason why you refused to open it, thus revealing its contents. It's like a snake. Please give me a meow. As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time. But no weapon or other dangerous item would move on its own accord. Which leaves but one possibility, Miss Pavlova. Inside your traveling case.
It's a cat! It's a cat! Show me the kitty!
Is the last item listed as forbidden in the vessel's rules of passage. A pet!
Show me the kitty!
Kiss me, you fool. Ah! Fucking collapses and dies.
Dude, it's like every time they get it
Right.
right, she's just like one step closer to...
Death.
I was gonna say...
Possession of a prohibited animal.
Please tell me it's a cat! Oh,
I want it to be a cat. Oh, look at these gay boys. Deduction complete. Elementary.
If it was elementary, then why the fuck did he get it wrong?
Because he's just a special little guy.
Like you?
So clearly, you aren't who you say you were. No, I am not Grimsby Roylott. Fucking obviously. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova. Everything you said was correct. You absconded during one of your ballet company's performances in order to escape your homeland. Later that same night, you stole aboard this vessel. Aboard, not abroad. But I guess you are going abroad anyways. Could she really have snuck on board without being noticed? In order to obscure your true identity, you somewhat recklessly took the guise of an old gentleman. And you intended to sever all links with your past by severing your long hair. How the fuck did you make it on board with the long hair? Yet to a woman, hair is no trifling matter. My personal recommendation is to leave well alone. So if it was just you about to cut off your own hair, who was it that let out the scream we heard from inside the cabin? That veritable tinkling of a bell? Why, none other than the young lady, naturally. More like a full set of pipes, if you ask me. I farted. I was so scared when I ran away in Shanghai. I was sure they would come looking for me. That's why I decided to, how do you say, disgust myself so no one would recognize me? As a result, you transformed yourself into that questionable old man? I see. Disgust. I put on the fur hat and fake beard. Then, just before you came in here, I saw the newspaper. Right on the page, there was a picture of me. I was so frightened, I couldn't stop from screaming. I hate my reflection. I knew that if I didn't change my appearances completely, they would find me. So I decided to cut all my hair as fastly as possible. I picked up the scissors in my hand and... At that precise moment, we walked in through the door, annoyingly unlocked cabin door. Things happen like that sometimes, don't they? They don't think it be like it is, but it do. Things do indeed happen like that from time to time. Are those two even talking about the same thing? There's just one more thing I'd like to know.
Is it a cat?
Is it a cat?
Is it a cat?
What exactly do you have inside your traveling case? I hope it's a black cat.
You think I look like a calico?
You were right. It is my dear friend inside. My only friend in the whole world.
Cat!
Skittles! Please! Don't tell anyone. If the captain finds out, if you say it to any of the crew. Your secret is safe with us, I assure you. But in return, you must tell us, in as much detail as you can muster, about the events of last night. Yes, alright. I will tell you.
Show me the cat!
Show me the cat! Well, Mr. Naruhodo? Wasn't it something, Mr. Sholm's great deduction? It was certainly something, yes. I'm just not entirely sure what, but at least Miss Pavlova has agreed to let it tell us what she knows. That's incredible. Indeed, it is incredible. Ah, and one more thing. Oh, yes? What? Observe your wrists. My... Damn you and your gay-ass... hot body. Shit. Your hands are cuffed. Yeah, right? Your hands are cuffed again. Sholmes is a power bottom. What? But how?
For sure.
True to my word, I've restored your shackles. Grr, when and why? There's still a shadow of guilt cast over you, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry to say. It can't be helped at the moment. Ha! Can it? Really? Anyway, let's listen to what Miss Pavlova has to say. I can't go on not knowing. Is it a cat or not? I have to find out what the Speckled Band that Kazuma-sama wrote in his diary really was.
Oh! The calico cat's tail.
It also could have been a snake now that I'm thinking about it, because it wasn't a speckled band in the very opening of this chapter. It referred to a snake, wouldn't it? Don't touch. Huh? I will tell you what I know about last night, but please, you must not touch my things. How do you say? Forbid it? Oh, sorry. As you well should be, young man. What vulgar manners you have. I must punish them in the bedroom. Poking around in a young lady's private belongings, neither shall I allow it. Ugh, hypocrite. Alright, I'll talk.
Before I knew it was a fuckable thing.
Did you know that someone was killed in the cabin next door to this one last night? One of the crewmen told me this morning when I was eating breakfast. The man who died, he was a friend of mine. Oh. That's why we're trying to find out what happened. Did you notice anything unusual last night? No, I was just killing a man. Shit! Perhaps you heard a strange noise, for an example? Perhaps people talking? Perhaps the ship was absorbed in a wild tempest? Perhaps its steam engine exploded? Perhaps everyone on board would have noticed if that had happened? Miss Pavlova, is there anything you can tell us?
Well, I was petting my pussy last night.
I don't know. I'm sorry, but all I could think about last night was what I had done and whether they would find me. I didn't notice anything that was happening around me. Oh, I see.
I was vigorously petting my pussy.
You've run away from your ballet company, haven't you? The Novovich Ballet? Yes. I am traveling to Great Britain, and from there, I want to go to America. Where everything is better always in every way. Definitely no problems there. Oh shit, like it's like Imperial Japan, so like I think somewhere near World War I era.
Right, so back when women were oppressed.
Yeah.
They had to live in a house. They had to have kids or else you were just like, might be killed.
Yeah, back where it's probably not better in America than anywhere else. Let's go, boys. I will never dance again. I want to forget everything about the ballet. I will start a new life. You wish to forget a challenging proposition. When you have that striking tiara as a reminder. But that tiara is mine. I need it to live. I love the jewelry. I have no money of my own. The Novovich Ballet gives us only a little food and water, and we must dance all over the world. I had to run away. I had no choice. If I stayed, it would have killed me. So you ran away to protect yourself? Right. And the crew of this ship, they have all been kind to me. And they let me come on board, and they said I could hide in this cabin. Well, did they know who you were, I assume? If that is indeed the truth, Miss Pavlova, it creates a most intriguing conundrum.
That must be okay because, you know, she's a fuckable thing.
Yes, it does.
Like, oh,
Sure. What do you think about it, Mr. Naruhodo? Me? Oh, well, yes, of course. I think we should hear Miss Pavlova's explanation. To what conundrum, I'm not sure, but... Conundrum!
Show me your pussy!
Miss Pavlova, allow me to pose you a riddle.
Cat, pussy cat.
According to this newspaper, it was only yesterday you absconded from the ballet. Now, that being the case, it must have been last night that you boarded this vessel. However, the SS Burya stopped by no port last night. That's it, of course. So how is it, pray, that you come to be aboard? Now that I think about it, the crewman outside the cabin acted very strangely when we mentioned that. It was just after we asked him about when the occupant of the cabin came aboard.
Yeah.
It is me, Beef Stroganoff! Best character! It is not your business. Yes, you're right. He did seem to be hiding something. I'm jamming. An angel descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to the stage. Sorry? What was that? It is how the Russian newspapers described one of my performances. And that is how I came here too. I descended from the heavens, because I am an angel. Helicopter, bitches. Considering English isn't your mother tongue, your description is very vivid. Mr. Sholmes once said, I never can resist a touch of the dramatic. It seems Miss Pavlova is the same. I never can resist the touch of a man. I mean, dramatic. A genius descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to detection. Words once said about myself. A quote from a wonderfully extravagant advertisement. For the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, in fact. Yes, Mr. Showy. Anyway, it doesn't look like Miss Pavlova is going to tell us what really happened. Friend!
Show me your pussy cat.
So the friend you mentioned is inside your traveling case, is that right? I don't think animals are allowed on board according to the rules of passage. I think it's a snake. I'm low-key thinking, oh, please don't tell any of the crew. If they found my precious, then the burly Russians would bestir themselves in unison to throw you and your case overboard, no doubt. So reassuring, Mr. Sholmes. But what sort of pet is your friend? A little puppy? It is, isn't it?
No.
Definitely not, thankfully.
Pussy cat.
Maybe an adorable little rabbit, question mark? Ha! You credit Russia as a land with small rabbits, do you? Oh, don't they have small rabbits there, then? You may well ask. I have no idea! You two are miserable bunglers when it comes to understanding the nature of young ballerinas as friends. Isn't it obvious? It must be a chicken. Really? Consider the benefits. A rousing wake-up call, daily fresh eggs. And when adversity strikes, it can satisfy the needs of sustenance. So you'd eat your friends. I remember that. No,
Cat.
fucking moron.
I'm right.
Well, it would appear this friend's identity is closely guarded, secret not to be revealed. She obviously doesn't quite trust us yet. There's something I should like to show her, I think. Maybe she might be able to shed some light on it.
Pulls down his pants.
Maybe you can shed some light on my speckled band. Zip.
On my little friend.
Boing. I got my little friend right here. It's a snake.
Your little friend?
Shit! This is the diary of my friend who passed away. His diary? I thought that was something only women kept. Yes, and he wrote in it last night before he died. Something a little unusual. It reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. And then a few minutes later, 1:35 a.m., what looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? I don't understand. It's strange, isn't it? But the ventilator he mentioned joins to this cabin, you see.
Excuse me. It's a cat.
It's up there on the wall. In other words, this cabin and the victim's cabin are connected together. Oh. Miss Pavlova, has something occurred to you? Does the speckled band the victim mentioned mean anything to you? Or the whistling sound, perhaps?
She's like, well, when you beat your little pig vigorously.
Yeah. No, I don't know anything. Oh. Except that I know everything.
And, you know, he was very hard to take down.
Knock, knock, it is me, Beef Stroganoff. Excuse me, Mr. Roylott. Yes? Yes, what? Wow, she's fast. Captain would like to speak with you. You must come to Captain's quarters at once, please. Alright, I will come now. I'm gonna come later. Alright, goodbye. What? You must leave now. Oh no, it's fine, don't mind us. Yes, please don't worry yourself, Mr. Roylott. Get out! The passenger sit out, or do you want me to throw you out? Ugh, it looks like we'll have to leave investigating this cabin until later. What a pity. I wanted to see her pussy. The cat, obviously.
What's her name?
You can't look it up. It's probably going to be integral to the case.
Oh, right, but, you know, I'm not playing.
Okay, fine. It's like Nikolina Pavlova. And so we lost our chance. Don't tell me, though. Having still not managed to investigate Miss Pazola's cabin, we were unceremoniously chased out. That is to say, we were quite literally picked up and thrown into the passageway outside. To be continued. Motherfucker, it's been an hour. All right. Bum 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 bum. Ba-da-da. Fuck yeah. The adventure of the speckled band, of the unbreakable speckled band. Let's go, let's go, bitches.
Surprisingly, I spelled her.
Nice. 9th January, SS Booria First Class Cabin Passageway.
Sorry, there's a screenshot of the game, and I would show it to you, but you said to not show you it, and it says, huh, this creature she's holding has caught my eye, and you could very obviously see what it is, but he just calls it a creature. I'm like, just say it.
I wish we hadn't been thrown out like that. I wish we'd managed to find some clues to what the speckled band might be. We didn't manage to investigate at all. Now we won't be able to for a while longer. We'll never get past that sailor guarding the door. He is clearly glaring at us as if to say, don't even think about it. Oh, wait a minute.
Is this a show?
What is it? Well, what happened to our great detective friend? Where did he go? Oh, yes, he's completely disappeared. When did he do that? He slipped away as quietly as the wind, but not before ensuring these were securely back on my wrists.
That's what he said.
Ooh, that's pretty. Okay. I'm just gonna fucking dip. Peace out, bitches. That door leads to the second class area. It's locked. I can't open it. No, well, that stands to reason. No one wants to let the murderer escape. Gosh, she gave me a very stern look when she said that. I really wish you'd have a chance to look around Miss Pavlova's cabin. I am beef stroganoff. What? Why you look like that? You want something? Maybe you want me to throw you out again, Oh, no, definitely not that. Next time I have to throw you out, I show you where lobsters spend winter. Understand? Understand. In my anus hole. Maybe I should steer clear of him until he's forgotten my face. I don't think he'll ever forget your face, Naruhodo-san. Damn, that's low-key a compliment, though. First class cabin number 1. Yes, that's our cabin. Not our cabin, it's Kazuma-sama's. Sorry? Your accommodation is confined to the wardrobe inside the cabin. You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? As small as the wardrobe I've been calling home. Anyway, I wonder if Inspector Hosonaga has managed to uncover any new clues. Yes, we should probably find him and ask. I forgot he was fucking on the boat. Ooh, back. Let's move. Kazuma. Kazuma's cabin. Let's go here. 9th January. SS Budia. Number 1. It looks like they're still investigating in here. Yes, on that subject. I wonder if Inspector Hosonaga is unscathed. What do you mean unscathed? Surely you haven't forgotten, have you, Naruhodo-san? Don't you remember what he said about allowing you out of this cabin to investigate? He was going to talk to the captain about it. He said he'd lay his life on the line for you. Oh, yes, but I'm sure he was exaggerating. Let's see what he has to say for himself. He might have some new information for us. You never know. He's fucking, like, dead on the ground. Where is he, though? Oh, there he is. Sup, shawty? Oh, he got fucked up. Damn. Oh, you're back. Inspector! What happened to you? Your face is... Please don't worry about it. They're just scratches. I tripped and fell into a doorknob. Made by a bear, maybe. When I told the captain that I'd given you permission to investigate, he told me he'd pummel me with his fists and then toss me overboard. What? But the pummeling was over in a flash and he must have decided against throwing me overboard. So it was nothing, really. Looks like he wasn't joking when he said he'd lay his life on the line if he had to. Well, thanks to your efforts, we now know a little about the neighboring cabin. Yes, so I understand. Oh. I bumped into a man claiming to be a great detective a little while ago. I think his name was something like Herr Locksholmes. I don't think he was German, though. Ah, that explains it. Shall we compare notes, then? We can tell you what we found out. Yes, let's do it. Fuck me rough. The cabin next door. What? Nikolina Pavlova. She's in the cabin next door. Oh, do you know who she is? Please, what self-respecting ballet fan wouldn't know that graceful angel? Oops, I think I upset him there. Well, that tells us the neighboring cabin is unrelated to the case at least. Oh, how? Because angels don't go around committing crimes, do they? Oops, now I've definitely upset him. Inspector, has your investigation here proved fruitful? If I'm honest, there's very little more I can do. Our duty is to make sure the scene isn't disturbed, ready to hand over to the Hong Kong police. So I'm just keeping watch here, trying not to take my eyes off the job. Oh, I see. Oh, there is one thing. I do have a small piece of new information for you. Oh, what? Yes, it does. Alright, new information. What is this new information you have, Inspector? It's this. The Burious medical officer had finished his examination of the body. I managed to obtain the report. Oh, Kazuma's postmortem report. Kazuma-sama. So, what was the cause of death? Damage to the cervical vertebrae is what was written in the report. His neck was broken? Yes, it would seem so. There was no obvious wounds or other signs of injury. So at first, I think they were considering poison. But I don't know.
Why'd you give him that?
I don't know. It just be like that.
Hot, and you're just like,
Well.
yeah.
But it turns out they found no trace of poison in his system at all. Well, what weapon was used then? Nothing has been found as yet, but the fact that there are no signs of a wound suggests it may have been a blunt object, something that wouldn't leave a mark. Oh, I see. All the body's nerves run through the spine to the brain. A strong enough impact to the neck could induce death. It is a possibility, and no obvious wound would be left. Poor Kazuma. I have a second copy of the report. If I might be useful, you're welcome to have it. Really? Are you sure? Yes, it's fine. I trust you. After all, if I didn't trust you, I'd never have agreed to you leaving this cabin in the first place, would I? Ah! So he is hot. The postmortem report, given the cause of death is a cervical spine injury, no traces. Okay, cool. Great detective. Oh, Mr. Sholmes was here, was he? Yes, he seemed to be enjoying himself a little too much as he crept on the floor investigating. But then he suddenly left. I suppose he must have become bored. Did he say anything at all? Actually, now you mention it, yes. Just one thing, but he practically shouted it. It's shoe polish, was all he said. Shoe polish? I wonder what he meant. The jar, maybe? It was when he was over there by the piece of broken glass, do you see? Oh, the brown streak. Right? Perhaps he was talking about this brick-colored mark, do you think? Oh, yes, this must be it. But how can Mr. Sholmes know that it's shoe polish? He ate some. That leaves me cold, I'm afraid. I have no idea. What is it, Soda-san? Well, Kazuma-sama was wearing leather shoes with a very dark tan hue. Dark tan? Sort of dark brownish red, then. Yes, a little like the color of red wine, but darker. I often repaired them for him. Oh, does this mean... And this mark was made by the polish on Kazuma's shoes as they scuffed on the floor? Right. He shit himself, honestly.
Yeah.
That's really all I can tell you at this stage. I should return to my post. My fellow crewmen's eyes are boring into the back of my head. Yes, that might be for the best. Thank you. Poor Inspector. You look exhausted. Oh no. I'm merely bleeding from like 20 places on my body. I feel terrible that I failed to protect Asugi-san. He was my responsibility. Of course, my pain is nothing compared to yours. You were his friends. The truth is, I seem to have had a heavy head ever since I woke this morning. A heavy head? That's interesting. My head's still throbbing too. Ever fucking flashbang on the boat. Bum 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 bum. You! Where did you go? Oh, sorry, I just went to the next door cabin to investigate. Why? Who gave you permission for this? Well, Seaman Hosonaga did. Huh, that new Japanese, was it? Later I will roll him into ball and throw him in cold room. Phew, he's gone back to guarding the door. I hope Inspector Hosonaga doesn't find himself in too much trouble on our account. He's really gone out of his way to help us, hasn't he? When we get back to Japan, we'll have to take him for a steak at La Carnival. That could be a very long time from now, Nodohodo-san. Damn, shawty. I did. It says it's a Russian word, but we don't know what it means. So it's clear that these writers were writing in the ink that was somehow spelled on the floor. And they spelled the Russian word for wardrobe, which is where I was stowing away inside of. I was inside his wardrobe. It does seem to be an unambiguous pointer to you, Naruhodo-san, as you were sleeping in there. But to truly be unambiguous, it should have just spelt out my name, don't you think? Well, either way, one fact remains. You're sus. It's hard to imagine that Kazuma-sama would have written his last words, or word, in Russian. Which begs the question of who did write it.
Maybe the wardrobes connect.
I think I've mostly done all I can in here. I'm not sure what else I need to read about. Oh wait, maybe diary again? I don't know. This is where Cosmo spent his final moments writing his diary. 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Looking at his writing here on this page, it's almost impossible to believe that he's gone. Kazuma-sama left us a valuable clue in these words, I'm sure of it. We have to solve this mystery, Naruhodo-san. We will. Alright, can we talk to... No, okay. Let's go back then. No conversing? Damn, shoddy. Is there... rules again? Nope, I didn't even mean to speak to you. I meant to look at the rules, but that's fine, man. I did look at that. It was mostly them. I did. It was roast chicken. Yeah. Goes with the chicken. Bum, 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 bum. I looked at the door. These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Burya. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabin. Pets are also strictly forbidden. So by bringing her pet on board, Miss Pavlova has broken the rules. Thanks for fucking saying that right where the sailor can hear you, Naruhodo dick. She called it her friend, didn't she? Yes, although we don't know what form this friend takes as yet. I'm almost certain that whatever it is, it's inside the traveling case in her cabin. A friend. There's more to this than it seems, I think.
Yeah.
Was that all you had to say?
Only friend. She's a ballerina.
All the books provided for passengers occupying the cabin neatly arranged on the shelf. They were all over the place when we first looked around, if you remember. Oh yes, and you tidied them up, didn't you? I love messing with the crime scene. You have to look after the ship's property. Unruly behavior in the cabins leads to damage. But it really wasn't me who knocked them over. Well, anyway, I feel much better now they're neatly lined up. I can't relax when things are untidy. Who looks down at the floor and she's like, the oil spill! Okay. Bum, bum, bum. Ventilator grill. So this ventilator joins the Miss Pavlova's cabin. Yes, that's right. And just a few minutes before he died, Kazuma saw something emerging from it. The Speckled Band, as he described it. If only Miss Pavlova had been able to shed some light on it, but she seemed as baffled as we are. Yes, I wonder if she's telling us everything, though. I'm not sure. I know most people aboard would say the same about me, but there was something about that woman that didn't sit right with me. Wow, kind of sexist, huh? Alright,
Obviously a little bit. How old are these games? Enough?
No, this game is actually very recent. Ba, 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 ba. Well, it was in Japan, and it didn't get localized for a long time. So, like, no official translation was available, but recently they released it on Steam with the English translation. And they bundled the two games of them together into the Chronicles. So this game has two games in it. It really is such a beautiful color, this glass. It looks like whatever it was is broken clean in two. But the other half is nowhere to be seen. And then there's the brick-colored mark, which is shoe polish, according to that great detective you seem to know all about. I suppose it must be from Kazuma-sama's shoes. Maybe. But what I'd like to know is, how can the detective be so sure it's shoe polish and not something else? Because he's such a great detective, of course. That's hardly a reason, is it? I think that's everything in here. I'm not entirely sure, but I've fucking looked around like a bunghole. And I can't see anything else. So I'm gonna try moving somewhere else then. Let's go back to the passageway maybe. We'll see if maybe the guy fell asleep or something dumb. Oh! Alright. This is Buria. Ah! Look, Naruhodo-san. Seaman Stroganoff is gone. Strong enough? The burly Russian sailor who's always crossing his arms and glaring at us. All these Russian names are impossible to remember. Oh, tra-la-la. What? Did you hear that? It sounded like someone singing. Cha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. I did it the great detective way. Fuck yeah. This caroling. I know that lark-like voice. Well, never mind that now. This is a golden opportunity for us. Yes, you're right. We must seize it. Let's get inside Miss Pavlova's cabin while we can and investigate. I'd like to get into Miss Pavlova before that stringy knot crewman comes back. It's Stroganoff, not stringy knot. Oh shit, wait, no, I use move. Miss Pavlova's cabin. Oh shit, the case is open. 9th January. Oh shit, dude. Number 2. Ticket number 2. Ticket number 2. Whoa, and there's robes up now in the closet? That's interesting. Miss Pavlova isn't back yet. Susanna-san. Oh, where's she gone? Oh, she's looking at the things. Hey, what are you doing? Those are her private things. There's not a moment to waste, Naruhodo-san. We must investigate as quickly as we can. I suppose you're right. For Kazuma's sake. Not just for Kazuma-sama. What do you mean? It can't be long now until we arrive at port in Hong Kong. I don't want you to be in those handcuffs when we get there. Really? We must solve this case, Naruhodo-san. By ourselves if we have to. Yes, we will. Bum 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 bum. Naruhodo-san, are you there? Sorry, I'm right here. Yes? Why? Oh, good. I thought you might have climbed into the wardrobe when I wasn't looking. There's no place like home. Believe me, I don't have some strange compulsion to jump inside every wardrobe I see, you know. Well, anyway, I'm not sure anyone could fit inside this one. It's full of beautiful outfits. I suppose they're all stage costumes. I was rather hoping we might find Miss Pavlova's friend hiding in there, but no such luck. The cat is closeted. Alright, the case. Oh my! Miss Pavlova's case is open. It's completely empty inside, but according to the great detective's great deduction, she was hiding a special friend in there. Yes, a friend that she had to keep secret. Because you're not allowed to bring animals aboard the SS Buria. I wonder what kind of an animal she had in there. And more to the point, where is it now? The bookshelf is knocked over. All the books have toppled over together. Look, every single one. Do you think that's the god of the sea, perhaps? He's toppled too, though. It's exactly the same as the bookcase next door, in Kazuma's cabin. Perhaps Miss Pavlova was practicing a difficult ballet pose and fell against the bookcase. I don't know. Would she really be practicing ballet on the same night she ran away from her ballet company? Alright then, it must have been you. You lost your temper and knocked them all over in a fit of rage? Not everything bad that happens on this ship is because of me, you know. Well, anyway, I'll set them all straight again in here too. I don't like seeing things in disarray. Okay, sure. Well, let's. I want to save the ventilator grill for later. What's this plate on the floor? I wonder what this little saucer is doing on the floor. It's for cat food. It doesn't look like it's been dropped. More like it was put there deliberately. Ah, do you think there could be a leak in the roof just above here? What, a leak? Is this ship quite safe? I'm sure that even if there's a little leak in the roof, it doesn't mean the whole ship is going to sink. No, you're right. Of course you're right. She's really trying to persuade herself, isn't she? Bum, 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 bum. It would seem this teapot is empty. So the natural conclusion is that the Russians are very thirsty people. Or because Miss Pavlova only came into this cabin last night, she hasn't had the chance to make any tea yet. I mean, it could be either. It's definitely that they're excessively thirsty. I'd lay 1,000 to 1 on it. You're rather obstinate, aren't you, Naruhodo-san? Alright, desk. The tiara's gone. There are just a few books on the dresser, nothing else by the looks of it. Well, Miss Pavlova only ran away from the ballet last night. She's hardly occupied this cabin for any time at all. That's true. I wonder what kind of books she likes to read. Let me see. Yes, I see. It would seem that Miss Pavlova enjoys reading books written in Russian. Thanks. I think I probably already knew that. It's rude to ask too much of people, Naruhodo-san. Kindly remember that. Trash can. Is the cat in the trash can? I suppose every cabin has a waste paper basket. Shall we have a little look and see what's been thrown away? Naruhodo-san. It's poor etiquette to go shifting through someone's rubbish, you know? Oh, those eyes. She's looking at me like I'm a piece of rubbish now. However, these are special circumstances, I think. Exactly, we have no choice. There's hardly anything in here at all. Yeah, I did. Well, it's not an option to look at it. That's a little disappointing. There's no option to look at it. So we go into the ventilator grill then. Let's look at the ribbon first. There's one of these next to the bed in Cosmo's cabin too. Yes, it's a bell cord. I can't resist. Shoddy. She barely hesitated there, and she gave it a good tug too. No, I didn't actually expect anyone to come. We don't want them to. We're trying to investigate in secret. Grill. So this ventilator connects to Cosmo's cabin next door.
True.
Yes, although what a fool a shipbuilder must be to open a ventilator into another room. Ah, maybe it's so that if there's a gas leak next door, the occupant of this cabin will be able to notice and raise the alarm. Or the occupants of both cabins would die of gas poisoning. Huh, that is a possibility. Anyway, last night, Cosmo wrote that he saw a speckled band coming out of this ventilator. Thanks! I really was wondering about it. Okay, so we've looked at everything, mostly. A speckled band. He said you know what it is now. They're displaying in this cabin too. Look, the SS Burya has rules of passage. Passengers must not. Yeah. We've seen it a million times. I suppose Miss Pavlova realized that she needed to keep the contents of her case a secret after she read this. Her special friend, I mean. I wonder where her friend has disappeared to now. She's probably having fun exploring the ship, I imagine. I just hope Seaman Stroganoff doesn't find it and throw it overboard. Oh, yes, so do I. Seaman. Seaman. Is there nothing else to investigate? Jeez, crow, people. B. It's B and M to look around. Hit me with that BM. Well, I've looked everywhere. I guess we'll leave. Just out of curiosity. Fucking A, dude. Okay, what's up? Oh, it's Mr. Sholmes, look. Wow, you never know where he's gonna turn up next, do you? He seems to be stealing a look at something as he sings to himself. Tra-la-la-li-li-la-li-la-la, I did it the great detective way. He's still singing. You think he hasn't noticed us? Or he's simply in extremely high spirits? Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when the yacht bit off more than it could chew. And through it all, when there was doubt, it's lucky her luck was about. DK, Donkey Kong. Excuse me. I solved it all and I stood tall. I did the great detective way. Mr. Sholmes! Ah! What is it? You want to fight? Huh? Honestly, interrupting a fellow when he's singing, and I was just about to reach the climactic finish. Oh, I'm gonna finish in you, am I? Sorry, I thought you were never going to stop, so I figured now is as good a time as any. I nearly dropped you to the floor with one of my famous right hooks. Alright, I get the picture. Could you put those fists away? Put those grippers away!
He didn't think you were gonna finish, so he just started saying no instead.
Mr. Sholmes, you seem to be examining something before we interrupted you. Ah, yes, that. I was immersed in studying the ship's log as part of the struggle God here. What the fuck did you say? Oh yes, the ship's log. And did you find out anything useful from it? Well, after 2 a.m. this morning, the majority of the entries are blank. Which means that there was nothing to report. Nothing of note happened, so... You truly are a student from the land of the rising sun. You've been utterly blinded by it. Sorry? Your logic, my boy, is inverted. Whatever you do mean, Mr. Sholmes. Observe the other pages, and all shall become clear. It would seem the same crewman oft stands sentry in this first-class passageway. And he has an almost religious practice of recording nothing to report every half hour. Oh, he writes that in every 30 minutes? Nothing to report. Precisely. Put simply, the seaman writes nothing to report when there is just that. And yet, the ship's log from last night is largely blank. He didn't even write nothing to report. Do you mean... Yes, there were circumstances afoot last night which led to the seaman being absent from his post. That post being my cock. I was built dry that night. What kind of circumstances? What happened?
Well,
When you put your hand on your little willy and go like this, that remains a mystery for now, but we can be sure something significant took place. So significant that it caused the seaman to forget his regular habit of scribbling nothing to report in the log. These are important details. I would stake my life on it. You must log the ship's log in your mental file. Thank you, Sholmes. Now that deduction was worthy of a great detective. Oh, you're starting to understand what my way is, I see. What makes Sholmes, Sholmes. Brilliance! Oh, ouch. What is it? Are you hurt? Oh, don't worry yourself. I seem to be afflicted with a throbbing head this morning for some reason. Nothing more. And not the head on my shoulders, if you feel me. Touch my cock. Well, my friends, until our next encounter. Alright. He's still singing to himself. I can hear him as he wanders off down the passageway. Fart into it. Is something wrong, Susanna-san? You seem lost in thought. It's just... Well, I feel the same. Sorry? Ever since I woke this morning, I've had something of a headache. A sort of continuous throbbing from my dick. Oh, you too? Everyone's has headaches. Can I examine, like, that's not the log, is it? Is that a different book? No, okay. But I cannot examine it. I guess I'll go into Miss Fezlova's cabin again. See if there's anything new. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Ow, what's that? Shut down the engines immediately. Vessel sighted a quarter mile forward. Full stop. Hard to starboard. All hands brace for impact. What the? I think we're about to crash into another ship. What? I can't stand. Susanna-san, hold on to me. Wug. It's the Titanic. Could you imagine, like, plot twist? It's the fucking Titanic.
Thank you for purchasing this game.
Right.
I hope it was worth your time.
The end. Susanna-san, are you alright? You injured at all? I think I'm fine. My legs are gone. Thank you, Naruhodo-san.
I've lost my sight, but other than that...
Bookshelf fell over in the exact same way. It looks like we avoided a collision. I think unless the ship has come to a stop. Oh my goodness, what about you, Naruhodo-san? Are you hurt? No, I'm fine. Hello, is anybody in there? Shove if you need assistance. Oh, that sounds like Inspector Hosonaga. Oh. Is that you in there, Naruhodo-san? Unbolt the door quickly. What? The bolt? Oh, so when the ship rocks, the bolt automatically closes. Look at that. The door's bolted. Did you do that, Suzuta-san? No, I didn't touch it. Well, that's strange.
Which explains how they all have headaches. Because if they're all against the side that tips, then their heads are just against the wall.
Maybe. How did... And look at the bookshelf. They're just like they were before again. Naruhodo-san, aren't you going to open the door and let Inspector in? Yeah. Give me a second. I'd better tidy this place up first. Please wait outside, random inspector. I'm going to tidy this room that is not mine. Our violent emergency stop had solved one mystery at least in a very vivid way. But I knew what awaited us on the other side of the cabin door would not be pleasant. I hurried around the tidying up the cabin with a new sense of foreboding in my heart. Oh my fucking god, we've seen 2 of these today. Holy shit. Just like, come in my mouth already. Holy fuck, game. I'm sorry. Cool. Let's go. Then night. 9th of January. It's Inspector Hosonaga now. This is my fucking game. Somehow, the door to the cabin we were in ended up bolted after we made an emergency stop. Suzuta-san took a deep breath, then gently slid back the bolt. My dick is throbbing. You, what are you doing in Miss Pavlova's quarters? You both look unhurt. Good. Yes, we're fine, thank you. What on earth happened? We heard something about how we were going to collide with another ship. Yes, it appears to have been a false report, though. Oh, how did that happen? There's a dense fog outside, so it's extremely difficult to see. Someone must have thought he saw a ship ahead. This person obviously triggered the alarm, and that's why we made an emergency stop. Everything is chaos. Passengers are screaming. Crew are running everywhere. This first-class area is the only quiet part of the ship at the moment. Oh, I see. Somehow someone triggered the alarm? Does that mean that someone pressed that button outside? Ah! You wicked intruder, dressed all in black. You are the devil. Sorry, me? I've been called a lot of things before, but devil is a first. Attack on Titan. You opened my traveling case. How could you? What? No, we didn't touch it. That's right, Miss Pavlova. It was already open when we came into your cabin. Inspector! How the fuck do you know I'm an inspector? Yes? Arrest this man! I know he did it. He is a criminal. It is not enough that he has killed a man. Duh! And he has stowed away as well. If Vixen promises not to steal chicken, do you believe? Ugh. Take him away. He's a trespasser as well as everything else. Stowing away, trespassing, killing. She is right. You are devil. It doesn't look good, does it? There is cell below deck. Throw him in. Tomorrow we dock in Hong Kong. Then we give you straight to police. Wait, a cell? Please, Inspector Hosonaga, is there nothing you can do? This is a Russian vessel. I really have no jurisdiction here. After my last effort to appeal to the captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options. This is terrible. This is a real crisis. I've got to find a solution. Immediately. Murder! I'm gonna kill him. Fucking... Your clothes, shoddy. I just need to keep calm and focus on the task at hand, which is investigating. Other things! You want me to show you where crawfish hibernates? It is my penis hole! Oh shit, my god, why'd you gotta throw me? So that was bitch? God, fucking damn it. Jesus, chill. Everyone's attacking me. I was just starting to think she was my friend. God, can I not get a break today? Okay, anyone who can help me. Okay, I'll appeal to Pavlova. Miss Pavlova, can I get out? I don't know why I gave a Russian accent for no reason. Sorry we snuck you in by the impression, but get out now. We just need to investigate here to help understand what happened to... I don't know how to say... I don't know how to speak Russian. I'm sorry. You're not going to listen. I need to find someone who will. God fucking damn it. Bitch, my man daddy. You've got yourself a new difficult situation here. By entering this cabin uninvited, I mean. Sorry, I was just so desperate to find a clue. I'm afraid there's really nothing more I can do to help you. If I push my luck any further, a punch to the face will be my least of my worries. I'm really sorry. I have to take responsibility for giving you the freedom to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin. Now this has happened, I'll have to report to the captain at once. Okay, fucking, I guess we're going to I need a hero for the end of the night. Wait. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. What are you doing here? What are you doing up there? Mr. Sholmes! Naturally, I was analyzing what a weight of 20,000 rubles feels like on one's head. Have I not told you that as a detective, it is my business to know what other people do not? This isn't mere tomfoolery, my boy. Oh, no. Well, why are you hanging from that hook before then? Isn't it obvious? To properly assess the weight of the 20,000 rubles, naturally. I wish to determine that to bend the conceited-looking hook on the wall, so full of brag and bounce. I never know whether to take this man seriously or not. Oh, you again, the great detective. Inspector, I confess I've been looking for you. I have something to report to you most urgently. Well, you might try looking for me somewhere other than a hook on the wall next time. What is to report? Speak! An urgent report from a great detective can mean but one thing. Yes, the case of the curious murder that took place last night, here on this vessel, the steamship Buria, has been solved by me, naturally. What? Really? Yes, I have eliminated all other possibilities. No other explanations exist. So, allow me to eliminate all your minds. For I am about to reveal my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Fuck, we're doing this now and here? Oh no. Yeah, you have solved it. Even Hedgehog understands this case. We all know who's responsible for killing student boy this morning when we found criminal in wardrobe. This is his stowaway, and he has handcuffs to prove it. I didn't do it. And the trouble is, there doesn't appear to be anyone else who could have killed the victim. Because as everyone knows, the cabin door was bolted shut from the inside. That means the culprit must be someone who was inside the cabin. Yes, it's what's called a locked room mystery in detective stories. Duh, locked room, that is point! The room was locked. Well, I can't deny that. There's no way the bolt... Oh, the bolt shut after the emergency stop. So he could have just left the room and then an emergency stop happened and it bolted shut. That's how. You are all quite mistaken. The cabin next door is not a so-called locked room at all. What? Oh yes, there is another entrance. An entrance used last night by the culprit in order to gain access to the cabin despite the bolted door. What's with the entrance? We never discovered one.
Yes, you did.
Wide gapes open-mouthed at you even as we speak. He's talking about the ventilator. The ventilator, man!
Obviously her little friend.
The ventilator. You'll think this is funny. I cannot even put my arm through that hole. That's because your arms are as thick as tree trunks. You're suggesting that the culprit entered and left the cabins through that tiny opening. It's not possible. But it is. And last night, the victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the ventilator. Shoddy. Mr. Sholmes, do you mean... Are you referring to the words Cosmos-sama wrote in his diary? 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Precisely, my dear madame. But what does it mean? What is the speckled band? My talk! The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin. He's about to throw down. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? There is a distinct element of danger, but fear not, I am ready. What I am about to expose for you all to see will shock you to your cause. Behold! It's a fucking snake! I knew it! I knew it! Hey, Stroganoff. You doing good there, bro? Mari, have you seen this? You seen this, Mari?
No.
Can you come on? Yeah, I think you guys see this.
What? Oh God.
I think he's not having a time right now.
The snake or?
I think the snake is having a great time. Allow me to introduce you all to the band, the Speckled Band. A snake? Indubitably. All right. Mr. Sholmes, just one thing. Pray, what troubles you? Well, that snake isn't really speckled, is it? It looks more stripy, wouldn't you say? Yes, you're right. I think in this case, you'd have to call it the Striped Band, wouldn't you? What the fuck did you just say about You both see and observe with distinction. However, do you not think that this is precisely the trap into which the culprit wishes you to fall? Oh my goodness, really? It's a trap? How exactly? I think perhaps it is time I explain the intricacies of my train of thought. Are you ready, Miss Pavlova? I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death has nothing to do with me. The whole thing has nothing to do with me. There are two conclusions I have drawn from the facts. Number one. Last night, your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin. Huh. And number two. That same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life. No. There's no external injuries, though, so he couldn't have bitten him. She's turned as white as a bowl of rice again. She almost must be right. He hit the nail on the head. This young woman's friend killed Mr. Osugi. It looks like he can't speak with that snake coiled around his head. I would advise as little movement as possible, Seaman. You wouldn't want the fangs of that long friend in your neck. So everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Another one of these motherfuckers. The great deduction. The game is afoot. Topic 1. Intruder's identity. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death had nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole the victim's cabin on that porch's night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. That's wrong. I think it's the Seaman. And yet, this fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band, whereas, regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit the description in any way. She hasn't said anything. What explanation can we give then, pray? What was the sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden beneath your back. Yes, that which you are trying, but failing to conceal. That can only be the snake's sloughed skin. Evidently, after the subtle and horrible crime, this most deadly fiend of yours shed its original skin. No? I don't know what you're talking about. Last night, through the ventilator visible in this cabin, your then speckled friends slid next door. Using the bell cord on the other side as a bridge, the serpent suddenly descended into the victim's quarters. In the dim light, it appeared to the young gentleman who was about to lose his life as a Speckled Band. In summary, the nature of this friend of yours, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a rare breed of snake, whose markings change each time it sloughs its skin. A snake so dreadful, we can only imagine it would be found in the deepest depths of India. A beloved speckled snake. I like this. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter. The grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life? And why? According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear that there were no visible signs of injury. Oh, that was her. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom. Now, if we take that as fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime. Oh no, could there be? Yes, an examination of the deceased's body will prove the cause of death conclusively. The almost but not quite imperceptible puncture wounds left by the venom's fangs will seal the truth. It's the vestiges of the snakebite delivered by your terrifying friend. This makes no sense. There's no point feigning ignorance, Miss Pavlova. After the incident, you endeavored to hide everything, didn't you? But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right. You hid the evidence that links you in the victim's death in that traveling case. When we first met in this cabin, it came to my attention that your case moved periodically. Your serpent assassin was restless inside, no doubt. You don't... It is telling that the victim made note of a low whistling sound that he heard minutes before his end. That was your signal, was it not? A sound you had used to train your serpent friend. To train? Indeed, you'd put the serpent through this ventilator and wait. After a period, you'd summon it back with a whistle. You couldn't know if the animal had done its duty, so you would listen for signs of life next door. If the victim appeared not to have been dispatched, you'd release the snake once more. Do you deny the snake has undergone such training? It's not true. Having slithered through the ventilator and down the bell cord, the creature needed only to sink its fangs in once. And its venom would course through the victim's veins, ending his existence forever. That is the true nature of the Speckled Band that took the poor young man's life. There can be no doubt. My logic is infallible. Nope, but it is, though, Shoddy. Shoddy was not like a melody in his head. I'm just saying. And thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of the Speckled Band. Dude, this guy's fucking crazy, though, Key. Miss Pavlova has trained her pet snake as a killing machine. There on the floor, you will observe a saucer of milk. The promise of food is the key to training any creature. Incredible. You've solved the mystery. Amazing. Your great deduction really lives up to its name. I see now why Sherlock Holmes has become such a household name. My dear man, it was nothing remarkable. As the Russians say, I could have done it with one left hand. Can I venture an opinion, Mr. Shops? But of course. What's on your mind? You're a fucking idiot. It's just about your deductions before. Some things don't quite make sense to me. I welcome questions as to my method. And will answer both loudly and proudly. Oh, well, good. First of all, snakes are egg-laying creatures, part of the reptile family. You are well informed, madame. And reptiles, don't drink milk. Ah. It's really only mammals that like to drink milk, you see. So, I'm not sure it would be possible to train a snake using milk as a reward. No matter. No doubt Miss Pavlova used some other treat to encourage her pet to do her bidding. Milk was merely an example. The logic holds. Well, there is something else. Snakes have no ears. Ah. Yes, so I'm not sure it would really be possible to signal to a snake by whistling. But madame, what are the tales from Arabia? Have you not heard of the snakes that dance to the sounds of a flute? I think perhaps the performers play their music in time with the snake's natural movements. Oh, I see. No hands, no feet, no ears. These creatures are so inept as to be practically useless. Don't take it out on the snakes, Mr. Sholmes. There is one other thing. You have more? Snakes use the scales on their bellies to propel themselves. So, I'm not really sure that a snake could manage to climb up a flat bell cord like the ones in these cabins. Then it should try harder. It's simply a skill issue. Please don't be angry with me, Mr. Sholmes. The point is, even if the snake had gone through the ventilator to the next door cabin, it couldn't have come back without help. What I'm trying to say is that there are a number of reasons why it's difficult to imagine the snake could have been a part in this. Damn, Sholmes. Damn, Sholmes. Damn, Sholmes. Dude, he got kind of owned. I think we need to step in and help again, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh no, you don't mean... Yes, we need to modify Mr. Sholmes' latest deductions and turn them into great ones they ought to be. I had a feeling that was coming. Alright, let's give it a try. Just what I was waiting for, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, right. So, cast your eyes down to your wrists again. What? He's a magician. You've done it again. Your handcuffs are gone. Where did they go? Fear not, I shall see they are restored after our work is done. I really wish you'd leave them off. Now, everyone, let us begin. Sherlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. I'm not gonna talk through the words I've already said from Sholmes. My jaw is starting to get tired with how much I've been talking today. Today might be just a 2-hour stream. I don't know, dude. Ace Attorney fucks me up. Although, let's just get to the next to be continued thing. You cannot deceive yourself. It's not aching heart, it's aching hand. She does have a pained expression on her face. Yes, that's true. She looks as though Kazuma-sama's death is weighing heavily on her mind. But you're not sure Mr. Sholmes has read her quite correctly, is that it? Could there be some other way to interpret her expression, then? Let's take a moment and really look closely to Miss Pavlova. Oh, shoot. Aching hand, maybe? Aha! She's got scratch marks on her hands.
Yes!
Claw scratch. There we go. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, that claw scratch smarts with pain. Indeed, and simple observation reveals that the wound is fresh. Miss Pavlova, did you in fact receive that scratch sometime last night? When I think about the young man who died next door, I feel so sad. And when I am sad, the pain from this wound is worse. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Ah, it's as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. It seems likely that the scratch mark on the back of Miss Pavlova's hand was made by this friend of hers, doesn't it? Except, snakes don't have claws, do they? No, they don't. They don't even have hands or feet on which claws might grow. Well then, if the snake isn't her pet, what is? What's the true identity of this friend of hers? We should follow her gaze, Naruhodo-san. That's where we'll find the answer. Is there a fucking cat in like the rafters or something? Hey!
Yes!
Sorry, I got loud there because I saw it. You were looking over at this framed photographic print, weren't you, Miss Pavlova? But let's not be distracted by the print itself. Oh no. It's the frame that is your friend, is it? Oh my fucking god. That deduction was wanting in every way. Fucking A. I know what I want you to say. I know what I want to say. Ah. Damn you, man. Dude, I literally... God damn you. Dude, it's literally a cat. It is a cat. Dude, they did the double take on me. They did the 1 through take. Okay, can I look at it? Ah, look at the photograph in this frame. It's a little black cat. Yo, it kind of looked like Nico. It kind of looked like Nico.
I said it was either a black cat or a calico cat.
The bell is the thing that's broken. There must be something Miss Pavlova brought her when she ran away. She's exceptionally beautiful, isn't she? Yes, that's true. But personally, it's the little black creature she's holding that's caught my eye. Maybe you better take a closer look at this. Little kitten! Yes! Little kitten! It's a little kitten! I'm naming it Nico. Oh, damn. Without doubt, your friend is the little kitten we see before us. Yes, the scratch on the back of your hand makes that abundantly clear. Oh no. The whereabouts of this black kitten isn't clear, but what is clear is that you brought the animal with you when you ran away, didn't you? Ah! Ding, 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 ding. Darka is my best friend. Darka! I couldn't leave her behind. Darka would appear to be a Russian blue. And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim is written on the observations of the night in question tell of a speckled band. Whereas, regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we then give, pray? What was the sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, that which you are trying but failing to conceal can only be the snake's sloughed skin. Nope, fucking dumbass bitch. Did you see that? She just took something out of her pocket and hid it behind her back. Would have been more hidden in her pocket. Yeah, if she just left it in her pocket, no one would have ever known. Oh yes, ploys like that are Mr. Sholmes' specialty. He's ever so cleverly forced her to reveal something. I thought deduction was his specialty, or maybe making me believe that was a ploy too. Anyway, I find it hard to believe that that's the skin of a snake. In which case, just what is Miss Pavlova hiding behind her back?
A scarf. A cat toy.
Well, it is speckled and it is a band, but what is it?
It's a cat toy.
It seems to be soft and fluffy, a long piece of cloth of some sort, and that looks like a handle at one end. I think it may be a cat's toy.
Cat brought it with them when they were going into his.
This sort of is common in the West, apparently. How is that a toy for cats? Cats like to chase the band around and paw at it. Kittens in particular love that sort of play. You only need to wave it in front of them, and they pounce to catch it. Haha, that sounds positively adorable.
Yes!
Yo, what's up, Smooth Criminal? How's it going, man? Nice glasses, thank you. I'm suited up as a lawyer today. What?
I said he needs a receipt.
Not really, but kinda, a little bit. Yes, the thing you're trying but failing to conceal is a cat's toy. Precisely, and the true nature of the now infamous Speckled Band. Oh. And it was this toy that you dangled through the ventilator.
No.
You waved it around, I presume? Naturally, the victim could not fail to notice it. But why? For what reason? My dear boy, there can be only one answer to that. After her feline friend disappeared through the ventilator into the neighboring cabin, Miss Pavlova attempted to use the speckled cat's toy to incite the creature to return. Ah. In summary, the nature of this friend of Miss Pavlova's, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a blithesome Russian blue breed of cat by the name of Darka. A truly troublesome feline young Darka is proving to be. She must be caged once found. You'll forgive us for borrowing the photograph of your pet, Miss Pavlova. All right. There we go. It also noted the tiara, so that might be important later. It was after I gave her food last night. That's when it happened. She scratched the back of my hand and then ran up the bell cord. Before I could do anything, she disappeared through the ventilator. Bill! Bill, come back! Bill, no! Darka, she is so naughty.
That explains the picture of the hamster that I saw.
Bill! Beloved kitten.
He did not die by a snake bite.
No. Dude, I like how we're like describing that it's actually a cat, and meanwhile, Mr. Beef Stroganoff over there is like, can someone get the snake off of my head, please? Ooh, true, true.
Didn't say anything. He couldn't say anything.
Moving on, we've come to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life? And why? Da-da-da. According to the data of which I've been apprised, it would appear there were no visible signs of injury. Ah. Yeah. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by terrible venom. What Mr. Shum says is true. There were no signs of a wound anywhere in Kazuma-sama's body. That's right. But Mr. Shum seems to be unaware of one very important detail. Kazuma wasn't poisoned. Yes, it would seem so. Let's give the information he's missing now. Bum bum bum.
Yes!
There we go. Postmortem report. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by the postmortem report. Yes, I knew it was one or the other. His neck was... Indeed, the breaking of the cervical vertebrae is fatal. Only that Goliath would be strong enough to survive that. Seaman Stroganoff isn't some mortal freak, you know. The injury is out. Anyway, we have a good authority that the victim's neck was broken. Now, if we take that as fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime. Oh no, could there be? Yes, an examination of the deceased's body will prove the cause of death conclusively. Kazuma died because his neck was broken? Broken, period. In other words, he was probably struck by something or someone. Yes, that's a distinct possibility. Someone picks up a cat and swings it at his neck really hard. As of yet, no weapon has been found, though. Presumably, Darka didn't silently creep up behind him and behind Kazuma and deal him a fatal blow. I suppose it's possible that he had a fall and hit the ground awkwardly. It could have been a terrible act of misfortune that he broke his neck completely by accident. Oh yes, a bad fall could explain it. It's rather hard to believe of Kazuma-sama, though. He wasn't a clumsy man. Well, we need to fix this deduction somehow. Is there anything from the scene that could explain what happened? It's the bell shard.
Yes!
Yes! Mark on the floor. Yeah. Yes! An examination of the mark on the floor will prove the cause of death conclusively. This particular mark, so prominently visible next to the victim's body, is a deposit of shoe polish. Shoe polish? Indeed, positively identified by a little analysis device I constructed, which I carry now as a matter of course. Beeswax, tallow, and dye were my results. The undeniable ingredients of shoe polish. And the color of the polish is a perfect match to the color of Mr. Asogi's lace leather shoes. Oh. Looking at this mark, it's not hard to imagine what happened. For some reason, Mr. Asogi must have caught his foot at that point on the floor and tripped. He tripped on the cat. Please, no. And by a dreadful turn of misfortune, caught his neck against some immovable object as he fell to the floor.
It's not a
Suffering a fatal blow to the spine, the victim's vertebrae shattered, and in that instant, he lost his life. No! I don't know. I don't know anything about this. Is that really true, Miss Pavlova? What about the evidence left at the scene where Mr. Sogi lost his life? Yes, the facts are as clear as day to me. You did all you could to conceal the incriminating evidence. But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right. You hid the evidence and links to the victim's death in the traveling case. Nope, dumbass. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama merely tripped over and now he's no more? It can't be true. I refuse to accept it. I know it's hard to believe, but the mark on the floor does seem to suggest that's what happened. And if this part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction is right, Ms. Pavlova is trying to hide some evidence that would prove it. Here in this cabin, somewhere in the direction that she just cast her eyes. Where, I wonder? Let's have a good look around. The answer must be here somewhere. Not the waste bin, maybe? Aha! This is a waste paper basket. Perhaps all the first-class cabins have them. But Miss Pavlova only stayed occupying this cabin late last night. Presumably, there's not much rubbish in there yet. There's the other half. Oh, what's that? It's a broken piece of glass, isn't it? Yes, it is. And I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. If it looks familiar, then perhaps it's more than your mind simply playing tricks on you.
Yes!
Yes. Boom. That's right. You hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that waste paper basket. Ah. Here we have a fragment of some intricate glass object, it would seem. One that has a familiar air, in fact. Precisely. We found another piece of broken glass on the floor of Mr. Asogi's cabin. And as you can see, the two pieces fit together perfectly. Oh no. So, Miss Pavlova, shall we reconsider what this tells us? Why would it be that part of this glass object, which was evidently broken at the scene of the victim's death, should be found in the waste paper basket in your cabin? You're well acquainted with this glass bell, are you not? I don't know, and that hushed Russian accent of yours won't save you this time, Diego. Why? Because we have conclusive evidence linking you to the bell in question. What? Take it away, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes. The evidence linking Miss Pavlova and the little glass bell, that would be...
Yes!
Yes. If you look at this photograph, you can clearly see, hanging from Darka's collar, that very glass bell in question. Bam! The truth has caught up with you, Miss Pavlova. The young man who lost his life last night did so after a truly inauspicious fall. Right? And the cause of that fateful stumble? Your absent feline friend, Darka. Ah. My titties hurt. I couldn't tell anyone. I'm sorry. Boom. Death by tripping over a cat. What a fucking awesome... Put that on his headstone, why don't you? Deduction complete. Elementary.
When is something gonna be like middle school? Or like elementary?
That was a high school level deduction. Why don't you tell us now, Miss Pavlova? Tell us exactly what happened last night. It was a little after 1 in the morning. It was so late, but I hadn't had time to feed Darka, so I gave her some food. And then all of a sudden, she scratched me and jumped out of my hands. People do say that cats become very anxious and nervous in new environments. She was so fast, she disappeared through the ventilator before I could stop her. And that is how you acquired the rather nasty wound on the back of your hand, I take it. Yes, and I had read the rules on the wall. I knew that I was not allowed Darko with me. Yes, modern science suggests that animals can carry infectious diseases. It's a precaution, really. So I listened and listened, trying to hear if there was some noise in the next cabin. It was very quiet. I was sure if someone was there, he must be sleeping. So at that point, you thought it safe to try and lure the kitten back again. By dangling the end of the toy through the ventilator and into the adjoining cabin. Dark always loves this toy, but it didn't work. Nothing worked. I tried using her favorite toy. I tried whistling to her softly, but nothing. She didn't return. So the faint whistling sound Cosmo wrote about in his diary was Miss Pavlova trying to retrieve her pet. Cats have a propensity to remain hidden in the shadows when frightened. Yes, so there was nothing else I could do. I just had to wait until she had calmed down. But then... Meow! Thud. I nearly passed out with shock. I heard her cry out, and then... Oh, it was such a dreadful bang. So, definitely what I'm thinking, chat, there's 100,000,010% more to this case.
For sure.
Because if Cosmo tripped over a cat and died, who the fuck wrote wardrobe on the floor in Russian? You know what I'm saying? So, there's something else.
Him like that.
I think he didn't die when he tripped over the cat. I think there's another layer. Oh, yeah. Let's go, Herlock. Let's go, Herlock. Then afterwards, nothing. It was totally silent. Cosmo was... It does sit well with my penis. From the appearance of the brown mark on the floor, it seems likely that what you heard was the victim stepping on the glass bell and tripping up. The SS Buoy is a large vessel, but even she can pitch and roll violently without warning. If Mr. Asogi was already off balance as a result of the ship lurching when the kitten got under his feet, the combination of unfortunate factors could easily have caused him to fall over. But what became of the kitten afterwards?
That's where the killer comes in.
In the end, I managed to get her to come back through the ventilator.
So where the fuck is your cat right
Yet Daka's nowhere to be seen. She was there. I must have forgotten to lock my case, and now she's disappeared again. I just want the cat to be alright. Gracious, that cat is as insufferably restless as I am. Well, he knows something about himself, at least. When I woke this morning, I heard that a young man in the cabin next to mine had died, but I couldn't bring myself to tell anyone what had happened. I was too scared. Scared that they would send me back. Oh, hold on a minute. What about the snake? You're right, where is it? If the snake isn't your friend, Miss Pavlova, then whose is it and where did it come from? What? Oh, it is his. It is his. What on earth could such a dangerous creature be doing on board the ship? Oh, I didn't say? Snake is my friend. His name is Peter Zoko. Huh? What? That snake belongs to you. He escaped from cage when emergency alarm sounded. I was looking for him. I did not expect to find him in here. Yes, how did that snake get into this cabin? But animals are not permitted on board. Heh, we were at sea for 1 year. We want to be so long without a close friend, without someone who understands? Couldn't you find someone a little more human who understands you better? But my dear burly fellow, a gargantuan venomous snake. Surely you can appreciate the danger you're putting everyone in. No venom. Huh? Peter Zoko does not have venom. He is hairless, very long, but very gentle. He is adorable like Granny. It's venomless? Yes, now he is hungry, so he is in bad mood. But once I feed him, you will see big smile. And you feed him, what? Milk, I suppose? Heh, like they say milk chickens? Ridiculous. Snakes that drink milk are only in stupid stories. Peter Zoko eats mouses, big fat round mouses. Ah, oh, so is that what the mousetrap in the passageway out there is for? Of course. How else can I catch my friend's favorite food? Nothing says top of the food chain like the look in their eyes right now. Oh shit. It refuses to drink milk, it can't hear a whistle, it can't climb up a bell core, and it's not even venomous. How the deuce did something so inept land a starring role? It's not my fault, I did not make up stories. My Peter Zoko has nothing to do with this incident. I believe him. So that's what happened. That's the truth behind my best friend's tragic death.
No. If
No.
that's the truth, the game would be over.
Well, the case would be over. Then we go on to the next one.
Ah,
No trial.
That's how he got in, though, right there.
Yeah.
See that?
I do.
I figured it out, guys. I literally figured
Wow.
it out.
You did. Miss Pavlova, I understand the difficult situation you found yourself in, and I do sympathize. But please remember this. A young man lost his life. If you're going to attempt to cover up your guilt with lies, then no matter what the circumstances, I cannot forgive you. But what are you talking about, Miss Mikotoba? What lies? Miss Pavlova just confessed everything. It was just a series of unfortunate events. Man, that's a really good name for a book series. I should write it right now. An accident. I'm no great detective like Mr. Sholmes. I don't have a gift for knowing the truth. But even I can see that was not the truth. Don't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? To be perfectly honest, yes. There's a discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure of it. I just can't put my finger on it.
How the fuck did she get the other half of the bell into here?
Yeah, true. I confess. I was intending to let Scotland Yard deal with any outstanding issues on this matter. Oh.
I don't know. I think she's guilty.
I'm only present here for a very specific reason. The truth is, you, Mr. Naruhodo, are simply a distraction. Distraction? I do hope you've not been finding your shackles too uncomfortable. Ah, not again. When did you do that? Especially as they're on your wrist as a result of my intervention. I was rather hoping I could resolve matters before we made our next port call. You were Mr. Sholmes? Yes, but I overlooked one important detail. The deceased young man was a very close companion of yours. Was he not? Yes. Cosmo is my closest friend. I owed him my freedom even. In that case, we must follow this to its conclusion. No further distractions. You must uncover the real truth here, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, whatever that may be. The key to this is the discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure. If I can chase that down, maybe the truth will become clear. The truth about how you really died. About that scene, about how that scene in your cabin really came to be. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo. So then, shall we begin? Yes. What we should ponder first is the victim who lost his life in a cabin that was bolted shut from the inside. Was this truly an unfortunate accident? Or was it in fact no accident at all? That is what we must establish in the first instance. We've already established it, haven't we? The man tripped over the kitten that had climbed into the cabin via the ventilator. Tragic, yes, but still an accident. Hold it! Wait, I should take a step back. It doesn't make sense if that's really what happened, does it? I'm going to have to ask you to spell it out for me, I'm afraid. Yes, it's starting to take shape now. My cock! There's a clear contradiction between the facts of Miss Pavlova's story here. The evidence is right there in Cosmo's cabin. It's undeniable. His death couldn't possibly have been a mere accident. Really? Let us show our hand, Mr. Naruhodo. Time to present the evidence. The evidence that proves unequivocally that the victim's death was no mere accident. Oh.
Yes!
Yes! The truth is clearly recorded in this photographic print. There's no way that Mr. Usogi could have left this message on the floor. That's script, it's Russian, isn't it? Indeed it is. The word written means wardrobe. I see what you mean. Most people would leave a dying message in their native language. Japanese in this case. But maybe he was studying Russian. It is a simple language. He could have picked it up very fast. That doesn't seem likely. That's actually not the point. It makes no difference whether he knew Russian or not. Sorry, what do you mean? Exactly what I said before. There is no way that Mr. Usogi could have left this message on the floor. And the reason why is clearly explained in here. Damage to the cervical vertebrae resulting in instant death. Instant death. Oh. Which means, after the victim fell to the floor, he couldn't possibly have written anything. Because he was already dead. That's not the only reason either. There's something else we found in Mr. Sogi's cabin. A remnant of something that couldn't possibly have been there, if what Miss Pavlova's told us was true. What? So Suzuda-san has noticed it too, then. Putting this message on the floor, there's something else that gives the truth away. Another piece of evidence that proves this was no accident. In other words,
Yes!
the bell. This piece of broken glass next to the mark on the floor. But that's the glass bell the kitten had around its neck. We already know all about that. It was broken in half when the victim tripped over the cat and fell. So we already have a satisfactory explanation. Where's the flaw in that logic? Unfortunately, there is a very big flaw. A fatal flaw. What? If that's really what happened, then how did one half of the bell end up back in here in this cabin? Oh. Yes, remember that we found the other half of the glass bell in that waste basket. But you can't explain that, Miss Pavlova? Oh no. Both these pieces of evidence clearly point to the same conclusion. That when Mr. Asogi died last night in his cabin, there was someone else in his room. And that same person deliberately arranged the scene to disguise the truth in order to cover up his or her own guilt. Yes, there was someone else present in Mr. Asogi's.
Hold it!
Oh shit. You are wasting time, I think. Yep. Someone else was there? Duh, of course. We know this. What are you talking about? Bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. There was no way in or out. Oh, yes. And only other person in cabin when young student died was you.
Yes!
It's true, I was in the cabin when it happened. You were shut inside the cabin wardrobe, to be precise about the details. But I don't know, Russian. There's no way I could have left that message. Not would have. There's no way you could have left that message, to be precise about the details. Would you mind? Forgive me, my dear fellow. As I was saying, the person in question wrote the word wardrobe in Russian on the floor in an attempt to incriminate me for the crime, even though I had been asleep in there the entire time. And then, the same person picked up the broken glass bell that had fallen to the floor. Oh, for fear of becoming evidence that would show how Mr. Asogi really died. But why wouldn't this person have taken all the pieces of the bell away? Leaving half behind was always going to raise questions. Yes, well, it was past 1 o'clock in the early hours of the morning. The cabin would have been quite dark. The single small lamp suspended from the ceiling would barely have cast any light onto the floor there. Little wonder then that the culprit failed to notice a fragment of the tiny item. You all suspect me, don't you? Hold it! Oh. Seaman Stroganoff. Nina's woman of sea. She is daughter of strong sailor. 2 years ago, they noticed her dancing skill and she went away to join ballet company. But before she was dancer on this ship, a member of ship's band. You do not accuse ship's angel of being criminal. Ah, so that's it. You say that when young student died, Nina was there at his cabin. But that is not possible. I give my tooth. Well, that's all most interesting. And why would you give your tooth, pray? How can you be so sure? You're a great detective. You know. Look through the eyes. Captain Bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. Nobody could go into the cabin. Not Nina, not anyone. Or you want to tell me that killer can walk through locked doors? Yet, it's impossible. Oh, he's right. But wait, I've read about this in detective stories. People often tie thread around door latches so they can open and close them from the outside. Thread? Are you stupid? These bulkheads are not barn doors. Certainly not. These are watertight doors, as one would expect to find on any modern steamship. Constructed of heavy steel, with not a gap in sight, no threads or needles magnets could have been used. No? No, of course not. I thought so too. But Mr. Naruhodo suggested it earlier, so... Susato-san! How can you shift it onto me like that? So Seaman Stroganoff has a valid point. The cabin door couldn't have been bolted shut from the outside. Not necessarily. What? I put it to you that I could bolt this cabin door without laying a finger on it.
I need to make
What?
I just almost got scammed in a way that I've never seen before. I need to make sure no one else falls for this.
Okay.
Go ahead, tell me.
Sure.
So someone on my freaking Discord hit me up out of nowhere like, hey yo, I accidentally reported your Steam account for a duplicated item. It's gonna get deleted if you don't like appeal this. And I looked up the scenario and what was going on. It's a total scam and he's trying to take your entire TF2 item thing.
Okay.
And I saw the trade and I was like, wait, why does he need my TF2 items? And I was like, that's when I looked it up and I'm like, oh, I get it. I see what's going on now.
Well then.
So if anyone tells you, hey, I accidentally reported you, you gotta go talk to this guy, don't do it. It's a scam. I didn't fall for it, thankfully. But if I can help at least one of you viewers, one of your 3 viewers, then that's good enough for me.
Alright, get out. And in this very cabin, we can now see the traces of the method in our mind we've been using before. I don't believe it. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, I believe you know what I mean, don't you? A way to shut the bolt of the cabin door from the outside? One way does spring to mind. Do you really know what Mr. Jones means, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes.
Yes, and so should you, because we've seen it happen. Indeed we have. So would you care to do the honors, Mr. Naruhodo? Point out the telling signs of the method that was used to slide the cabin door bolt from across the outside.
Yes!
Yes, bookshelf. Look at the bookcase there. See how all the books and things on it have toppled over? That must have happened when the ship made its emergency stop before. Yes, that's right. It's a very powerful vessel after all. When the engines are thrown into reverse, a violent jolt goes across the entire ship. Any small objects that aren't fastened down are bound to fall over. I believe. Yes, it's what's known as the force of inertia acting on objects. Is there nothing Susan doesn't know? Or that isn't in her book, at least. Well, whatever it's called, the same force that pushed over those books on the bookcase also made something else in this cabin move. The bolt on the cabin door. Ah, it was very obvious just after the emergency stop that the ship made earlier. We had come into the cabin not long before, and we hadn't bolted the door. But then... Hello, is anybody in there? Shout if you need assistance. Yeah. Oh, yes. That's it. When the ship stopped suddenly, the bolt flew across and locked the door. Yes, it's made of metal, but it's small and light enough to be moved by the ship's sudden change of speed. Or the force of inertia, if you want to call it that. Are you trying to say that last night, after Mr. Asogi was killed? Boop. Hit me with a boop. Beautiful. Fucking magnificent. Wow. The SS Burya made another emergency stop. When I woke up this morning and looked around the cabin, I thought it looked a little odd. All the books on the shelves had toppled over, and all the ornaments. It was almost as if someone had run their hand across the shelves and deliberately knocked everything over. Oh yes, I remember that. And I stood them all up again, didn't I? Then when we came into this cabin, we were surprised to see the same thing in here. All the books and everything had toppled over, just like Mr. Asogi's cabin. Oh my. Do you have anything to say about this, Miss Pavlova? Well, you out of your mind? You say Burya made the emergency stop. It does seem a little far-fetched. How could that possibly have happened? Unless you're saying that the culprit is actually someone from the engine room. Oh, it is simple enough. Are you forgetting the button in the passageway outside? Used to trigger the emergency alarm. Oh yes, of course. There was a notice, wasn't there? Telling you not to only press the button in times of emergency. On dark nights when the fog is dense, the captain cannot afford to rely on the eyes that look out alone. Hence the placement of a number of buttons around the vessel to allow any crewman to raise the alarm. The sort of button One is almost compelled to press to satisfy one's curiosity. Wait, it was you? When the button is pressed, two things happen in the interest of safety. The emergency alarm bell rings and the vessel comes to a complete stop. As indeed it did a little earlier today. Mr. Sholmes, surely it wasn't you who... As I always say, a button has but one purpose in life. To be pressed, whatever the occasion. He sounds almost proud of himself. How dare you mess with ship? I report you to Captain. You are in much trouble now. And now, I'm sure all that can wait until later. That does not overlook the fact that we have now learned a valuable lesson. When the vessel makes an emergency stop, the bolts on the cabin door slide closed. So what we must now consider... Yes, it all comes down to one thing now. Last night, after what happened to Mr. Asogi, did this ship make an emergency stop or did it not? You're idiots! Burya is a huge ship with many passengers. If we make an emergency stop even in the middle of the night, there would be chaos everywhere. What are your thoughts, Mr. Naruhodo? My jaw's tired. It's certainly possible that some kind of emergency happened last night. We have evidence to support that idea. Really? What evidence, Mr. Naruhodo? Fascinating. Do show us, my good man. What evidence pronounces here that some emergency scripture vessel last night? Shit my balls.
Yes!
Seaman Stroganoff. Seaman Stroganoff. It's your duty to patrol the first class area of the ship, is that right? Duh, it is correct. Bye. On the ship's log here, this will be where you record the details of your duties. What are you doing with that? That is mine. Ah, you rather carelessly left it atop the little makeshift bureau in the passageway out there. But as responsible passengers, we took it into our care with the mind to return it to you later. I left it there on purpose. This is where I put it always. The point is, looking at what you usually record, it's clear that under normal circumstances, you write the phrase nothing to report every 30 minutes. But from 2 o'clock last night until first light this morning, nothing was recorded at all. Nothing in the recorded in the log. That is... duh. Because nothing happened. But if nothing happened, you would normally write nothing to report, wouldn't you? Gulp. Indeed so, which tells us that shortly after 2 a.m., something happened here aboard the SS Burya. Something sufficiently significant to make you forget to fill in the ship's log, in fact. Are you suggesting the ship really did make an emergency stop in the middle of the night? Stop talking rubbish! He said it in all caps, so I had to, you know. If I'm perfectly honest, I find that a little hard to believe myself. Oh, why? Well, because if something as major as an emergency stop had really had happened, surely all of us would have noticed. That's very true. Thanks to the emergency stop we experienced earlier, we all know what it feels like now. The ship lurched so violently, and the alarm bell was so loud. I can't imagine that anybody would sleep through that, even if it happened in the dead of night. Well, no, that's a good point. What of the throbbing? I'm sorry? What do you mean? My penis, of course. Your head, man. The throbbing of your head since this morning. We've all suffered with it. Ah. Oh, yes. I have had a headache, you're right. In fact, I haven't been feeling myself since I woke up today. Nor have I. My head has been feeling heavy ever since dawn. Yes, you've all been afflicted, haven't you? Just as I suspected. He's right, my head's been throbbing today too. And since eating dinner yesterday evening, everything has felt sort of hazy. Can't really remember anything that happened after I climbed back inside the wardrobe. And then the first thing I noticed this morning was the throbbing pain in my head. I had already been dragged out of the wardrobe. And had those handcuffs put on me by that point. Why didn't I wake up when that was happening to me? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo. You boarded this vessel as a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, well, yes. Sorry. The stowaway class of accommodation doesn't usually include meals. What did you survive on? Ah, well, Cosmo looked after me. He was always happy to share his meals. So you enjoyed some of the whole roast chicken dish that was served yesterday evening, I take it? Yes, in fact. I had all of that. Cosmo wasn't fond of chicken. Oh, really? So the victim didn't eat any of the chicken at all? That's right. He didn't touch it. Is that relevant? My dear fellow, does that not strike you? Oh, Mr. Sholmes, do you mean to say that there was something wrong with the chicken? It was raw, I do. No, really? Is that really true? The meal prepared for the passengers last night had been tampered with. Tampered with by the addition of a soporific designed to induce a very deep slumber in those who consumed it. A sleeping drug. Do you mean whoever did this laced every meal with a sleeping drug so no one would notice the ship's emergency stop? Mr. Naruhodo, of course that's not what Mr. Sholmes means. What a far-fetched idea. Precisely. Lacing every meal of every passenger on board with a soporific drug would certainly be impossible. Unless, that is, every single member of the crew was a conspirator. What? Mr. Sholmes.
Because every single member of the crew wanted her to get on the ship.
Well, see, man.
Oh my god, wait a minute.
I'm sorry to say that any more deception in this matter will get you nowhere. Yeah, that's definitely it. If you refuse to talk, there would have to be an inquiry made through the shipping company, of course. And were that to happen, every member of the crew, and the captain himself, would be hauled over the coals. For aiding and abetting a renegade. Please, no more. I will tell everything. I cannot make problems like this for everyone anymore. These crewmen are your former comrades, I believe. Yes. So when I decided to run away, I asked them to help me. We all agreed to help. Everyone together. She threw away everything. Her fame and the ballet. Mother Russia. We wanted to help our angel. I don't believe it. You are right. We put sleeping drug and chicken last night. Yes, I remember now. I did notice chewing on a lump of something strange and bitter at one point. Yeah, we could not make all drug. How do you say? Dissolve? Talk about heavy seasoning. At midnight in waters near Shanghai, we brought our angel on board. She was helped by combat on shore with small fishing boat. While all the passengers of the SS Burya slept soundly. Thanks to the almost magical efforts of the slumber-inducing potion their evening meals had contained. So if that's what happened, the only people awake on the ship last night were the crew, people who dislike chicken, and the newly boarded passenger, Miss Pavlova. And that means it would have been impossible for you. You could have used the emergency stop trick to lock Cosmo's cabin door. But how does that make sense? Surely every cabin door would have ended up locked in that case, and there would have been complete chaos. Oh, I wouldn't say so. What? Of course. Just like us, all the other passengers would have eaten their evening meal of chicken in their cabins, after which they would have been overwhelmed by tiredness because of the sleeping drug. Quite. And accordingly, all passengers were already in their cabins for the night. Yes! The overwhelming majority of passengers would habitually sleep with their cabin doors bolted anyway, and so not one of them would have found it remarkable to find the door locked in the morning. In summary, in order to fasten the bolt of a single cabin door on the ship, the culprit brought the entire vessel to an emergency stop in the early hours of the morning. You have talked a long time and said many things. What is point? The point is what I said earlier. there was somebody else present on the scene when the victim lost his life last night. Someone who left a message in Russian on the floor in an attempt to incriminate another. Someone who tried desperately to hide the broken fragment of glass that would reveal the culprit's identity. And someone who abused the ship's emergency stop procedure in order to lock a door. All told, a busy night. But... I don't know about any of this. I'm just a little girl. You like to speak with your long English words and explain your clever ideas. But I am sailor, and sailors don't listen to long, boring stories. We don't believe. Sailors like me, we trust only what we see with our eyes. A laudable trait. What? I'm quite of the same disposition, my good man. Observation to me is everything. Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, yes? Do you hear it? That accusatory cry of guilt on the wind. What accusatory cry of guilt? Sorry? You've lost me. Proof of involvement, man. But you can't hear such a call with your ears. No. You must hear it with your eyes. Observation is the basis of all deduction. What are you talking about? I believe the time has come. For one final logic and reasoning spectacular. Oh my fucking god! Oh! Ah! So, Mr. Naruhodo, your assistant, if you please. With what exactly, Mr. Sholmes? With observation, my dear fellow. Just as I said, all these two observation. If you remember, Mr. Naruhodo, we know that somebody tried to fabricate evidence, don't we? By tampering with the scene of Mr. Sogi's death. What we're looking for is someone trace of evidence that one of these two was there when it happened. Precisely, if you would delightfully could you grasp my meaning. Alright, I'll see what I can see. So we're looking for a trace of evidence that shows someone else was there last night when Cosmo died. Motherfucker.
Yes!
Insane bitches. Seaman Stroganoff, you seem to have quite a large purple stain on the back of your white uniform there. Yes, I don't know where that dirt comes from. So nothing in particular comes to mind about the stain? What are you trying to say? It would appear that the significance of the stain has escaped your attention, seaman. Allow us to make it plain. It's a very large purple stain on the back of Seaman Stroganoff's uniform, and I think what made it is clear. Indeed it is. So Mr. Naruhodo, present the evidence that proves it. My pleasure. Alright then, the evidence purple stains on the back of Seaman's uniform really is. Oh, my jaw is so fucking tired.
Yes!
Ah. Yes, it's this photograph, and the ink it shows. That's what caused the stain on your uniform. Ink. A rather unusual color of ink, purple. Ah. Penny drops at last. Now you see the significance. The Russian word on the floor next to the victim's body was written in purple ink. And the stain on the back of your uniform is ink of exactly the same color. If the ink had been dry, it couldn't possibly have stained your uniform in that way. Which means you must have been present at the cabin in the moments immediately after the ink was spilt. Alright, yes. It was me. I did it. Everything. Oh. I arranged everything in Dead Student's cabin to make it look like Wardrobe Man did it. Then I pressed button to make Buria do emergency stop and bolt cabin door shut. I did everything so no one would suspect our angel. Biff, please. Beef. Don't worry, Angel. Let me do talking. It was after 1 in the morning. I was on duty patrolling passageway. Then our angel came to me. She was white like sheet. Beef, please, you must help me. I went with her. The door to cabin number 1 was open. When I looked inside, I saw student boy on the floor. What happened here? Please, don't tell anyone. My little one. My little furry friend. Everything that happened in the cabin is like Angel told you. The kitten escaped through the ventilator into Mr. Sogi's cabin. Then he tripped over and broke his neck when he fell to the floor. Yes, that is right. I didn't mean to press that button. So after that incident, when the cat ran away, Miss Pavlova then visited the cabin next to hers. Only to find its occupant lying lifeless on the floor. She said she was worried when she heard sound of something falling on the floor. That's when she went to look. No, Angel? The door was not locked. So she opened to look, and you already know what happened after. There's just one thing. If you wouldn't mind. What? When you went to Mr. Sogi's cabin, Miss Pavlova, was he already dead? Why? I already told you. When Nina opened the door of student's cabin and looked inside, I was asking Miss Pavlova. Ooh, shit, she's strong. Well, Miss Pavlova? Oh. Yes, that is right. I saw him. It was dark and he was wearing black, but he was on the floor, not moving. I was scared. I understand, and I believe you. So is that finally it now? Have we discovered the real truth about Kazuma's death at last? Ah, what?
Real quick, have you noticed that Strogonoff's face has the lines of where a snake was?
That's hilarious. Something very needless slipped my mind. Oh, Mr. Sholmes? This photograph. Yes, I took this myself, you know. The cause of death was a broken neck. Therefore, the victim died instantly. And the unfortunate incident that precipitated these events, a kitten on which the victim stumbled. However, if those are the facts, there is one particular area in this photograph that seems to be somewhat unnatural. What do you mean unnatural? What are your thoughts on the matter, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, well... Kazuma tripped and fell, and by some terrible stroke of luck broke his neck. Which part of this photographic print seems unnatural? I'm just gonna present like right here. Let's be here, surely. Damn it. Piece of advice regarding the pursuit of detection, my dear fellow. Nothing crucial point. Maybe you have to keep your eyes open. God, dude, we're getting so fucking. Ugh. Damn, shoddy. The word written in a foreign language underneath his fingertip, surely. Visually across detail was orchestrated by the culprit. No, I mean to identify another point. Imagine, if you will, losing your footing yourself.
Oh, his hands were out.
Oh. His fist is clenched. Okay. Why do I? Okay, yeah, his fist is clenched. Boom. Yes. All right. If he really fell due to an unfortunate accident, then this fist just doesn't seem quite right. The exact same thought occurred to me. In a fall, one's instinct is to open the palms flat. Yet here we see the victim with his left hand tightly balled into a fist. Almost, you might say, as though he were gripping something. Like my cock. What do you mean? Simply that I took the liberty of investigating the victim's fist a short while ago. You did? And what, pray, do you imagine I found there? My dear fellow? Mr. Sholmes, show us, please. Why, of course, my dear madame. Why would I keep you in suspense?
Unzips pants, you know.
This is what I found. Oh, a crescent moon with a little gemstone in the middle? Yes, you're right, it's a crescent moon. It's very pretty, but what does it tell us? It tells us nothing. I'm not so sure. That crescent moon looks familiar somehow. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere before. Observation, Mr. Naruhodo. That is the key. What? The truth is now tantalizingly close. Ah. How did that crescent moon come to be in Kazuma's clenched fist? This is the final clue, the last piece of the puzzle. Ask yourself, what does this little crescent moon mean? What significance has it? And observe! Find the answer with your own eyes. It's one of her earrings, I think. Yeah. She has such petite ears among that beautiful hair. Like little pink shells. Oh, what's that? There's something dangling down from her ear. Yes, that's an earring. Wait, look. It's a crescent moon. Ah. There can be no doubt now, surely. Bum, 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 bum.
Yes!
Yes. Miss Pavlova, on your ear there. I see you have a crescent moon as well. Oh. What? And on your other ear. There seems to be a crescent moon missing. The little link holding it almost have broken, I suppose. Now, the missing crescent moon was found in the victim's clenched fist. Clearly, there's only one logical conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes. Miss Pavlova, Mr. Asogi must have grasped that crescent moon and pulled it from your ear. Perhaps just moments before he fell to the floor. In other words, last night in Mr. Asogi's cabin, you witnessed the moment when the victim fell with your own eyes. In fact, you were quite literally at arm's length from him. But then the question is, why did Mr. Asogi do that? Why did he pull your earring from your ear and hold it in his clenched fist during his final moments? Oh no, Angel. No one can protect you now. Please, Miss Pavlova, tell us the truth. Last night, what did you do to Kazuma? Fuck, dude. Ah, yeah! I fucking murdered her. Jesus.
No, she's the murderer.
I know, but I fucking killed her too.
Silly goose. You can't kill a
When I
murderer.
think about everything that happened yesterday, it was too much. Running away, the fishing boat in the middle of the night, trying to climb onto this huge ship, and then when I was at last in this cabin and I could relax after this horrible long day. Yeah! Darka, wait! I couldn't believe it when she disappeared through the ventilator. She vented. I tried to call her with the little whistle. I tried waving her favorite toy, but nothing worked. Darka would not come back. Bum, bum. Knock, knock. Clunk. What are you doing here this time? And oh, Inspector. Oh shit. What are you doing here this time? Oh, he was expecting Hosonaga. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. No, I'm okay. The young man from your country, he was very polite and kind. Chat, we're gonna go overtime just a little bit on the stream because I think we're very, very close to finishing this chapter. He helped me to find Darka and he promised me not to tell anyone. But then, when I had my friend in my arms again, and I was going to leave the man's cabin... Just a moment. Sorry, but... Oh, yes? I'm sure I know your face. I've seen you somewhere before. Ah! Yeah, of course. You're Nikolina Pavlova, aren't you? The Russian ballerina. Huh? No, I don't know that name. My heart nearly stopped when he said that. He knew who I was. How could this man from a land from the faraway east know a Russian ballerina? Yes, I saw your performance in Japan. The beauty of the ballet made a deep impression on me. But what are you doing on this ship? I'm sure I read that your ballet company was performing in Shanghai at the moment. I can't fool him. I have to tell him the truth and hope he doesn't tell anyone. I have no other choice. I see. So you've run away. Please, please keep my secret. Don't tell anyone. Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here. He's going to pull that cord. He's going to tell the captain. He was going for Naruhodo in the cabinet. Damn it. Why did I think I could trust him? Then it happened. Everything at once. It was only a second, but it felt like forever. Wait, I shouted. And then Darka jumped out of my arms and down onto the young man's feet. And as he turned around to look at me. Fucking A, dude.
Oh, shit.
I pushed him. I don't even know why. I don't even know why I did it. I was just so scared. And I had to stop him from telling anyone about me. And that's when you went to fetch help? From Seaman Stroganoff, who was on duty out in the passageway. I heard Nina cry out and on third on floor, so I ran to her. She was standing at cabin door shaking like a leaf. She looked at me and said, "Help me, Beef. If they find out, I will be... Please, I have nowhere to go." So you decided to help. And that's when you arranged things in Kazuma's cabin to make it look like I did it. So that no one would suspect the passenger in the cabin next door. Yes. I went into the cabin and I looked around to make sure there was nothing to show Nina was there. And then I found Stowaway in wardrobe, still sleeping. Right, and that's when he found me. So you worked out a plan to lay the blame on the Stowaway. I closed wardrobe drawers and put back strange paper sign. Oh, luckily for me, that's the only reason Sasada-san started to believe me when I said I was innocent. I dragged young man's body to good place and used ink that was spilling to write on floor. I wrote wardrobe so that the person who found him would look inside wardrobe and find Stowaway. Then tell me, what of the glass bell? It was by my feet, so I picked it up. I see. But it was dark in the cabin. I didn't notice the other half. Then Angel went back to her cabin and I finished the job by pressing the emergency alarm button in the passageway. Yes. Accordingly, the SS Burya did indeed come to an emergency halt a little after 2 a.m., thus inciting the bolt in the cabin door to slide shut, creating the locked room mystery. Damn, shoddy. There's still one thing I don't understand, Miss Pavlova. What? Well, you said that you told Kazum about the fact that you'd run away from your homeland. It's because you were worried he was going to tell the captain that you pushed him. Isn't that right?
But shouldn't the captain
Yes.
be your friend?
But even if he had pulled the belt cord and called for the captain of the ship, aren't you friends with every member of the crew? Why would that have been a problem? It was what he said first that made me scared. What he said first. Inspector. The fact that he was expecting Inspector. What are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector? Ooh. Oh. I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. He said an inspector was his friend. Oh, yes, meaning me, who was supposed to be acting as his bodyguard. I thought if that police knew about me, they would arrest me. So before he could pull the bell cord, May I stop you a moment, please, Miss Pavlova? It just doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, was Mr. Sogi really going to pull the bell cord? I don't know. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? I think he was coming for me. I'm not Kazuma, so I can't know for certain, but he was a man of his word. If he told you he wouldn't give your secret away, then he wouldn't have done. No, he was walking over to it. He was going to pull the cord. He was going to make them send me back. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, the day's work is not yet done, it seems. There is one more deduction to make. What? Another deduction? Yes, what action was the victim really about to take at that moment? Just let me speak. Let me speak and I know it. Can we determine whither the young man's gaze was directed? Yes, just let me do it. Let me play already. Oh my god, I remember every detail of that room. I mean, yes, that's my... Oh my god, Kevin has been my home for this entire voyage. Yes, that's exactly how it was. I'm ready, Mr. Yes, I'm ready. That's the simple keys can reveal a matter to choose and only that in order to draw the right conclusion. You can't do what you're following the guys of where lands.
Just stop talking.
So when he turned away from his below, what exactly was Cosmo looking at?
Impact, he's mad that he still has to talk.
Take that!
We're waiting for so long. Stop talking.
Considering everything that had happened last night, certainly it may have looked as though Cosmo was going to ring the bell cord. Yes, however, what is directly beside the bell cord? The wardrobe. The wardrobe? And more importantly, what was inside the wardrobe? The man's great friend, sleeping soundly. Ah. Miss Pavlova, please, think back very carefully. What were Mr. Asogi's exact words last night? Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here. Another opinion? Yes, but not from a member of the crew. No, Mr. Asogi intended to consult his close friend on the matter. To see if between them, they might be able to help in some way, no doubt. Oh no. Sadly, we can't know the truth for certain now. It's too late for that. But I wish you had made sure what Mr. Asogi was looking at. Things may have ended very differently, if you had. Damn, shoddy.
Having a stroke. Rister is just
I am.
mad.
Miss Pavlova, I'm taking your cat from you. I want you to thank you for finally admitting the truth, but unfortunately, the truth is a man lost his life because of what you did, and that will never change. I hope you'll never forget that, and also go to jail, even though you're 15, so it's probably like juvie, but also it's like back in the day. She's 15!
Her cat.
Oh, her cat. Yeah, show me the pussy. I'm sorry. Really, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm also a minor, so it's fine.
Okay, that's fair, Mari. What have I done?
Only for 4 months.
And so, at long last, the mystery surrounding the tragic accident on the SS Buria was finally laid to rest. Holy damn shit, bro. Fucking A. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. What will happen to Miss Pavlova now, then? Once we reach Great Britain, she'll be handed over to the British police at Scotland Yard. What about the fact that she ran away from Russia? Won't the Russians try to reparate her? Apparently, the English detective can speak to the immigration office and sort all that out.
Yay.
Mr. Sholmes can do that? So she won't be going back to Russia, then? No, I don't think so. Even if she wanted to return in the future, I doubt she would be able to. She ran away, so now she's in exile for life. I see. I'm sorry. Seaman Stroganoff. I wanted to help our angel, no matter what. But I didn't think about you, about how you lost good friend. I will go with Nina. I will give myself to British police. That's kind of you. In the meantime, thank you for letting me go free again. Cosimo's death feels like such a waste, but... Well, do what you can for Miss Pavlova, won't you? Duh. Well, I'm afraid you need to pack now. We're due to arrive in Hong Kong tomorrow. As much as it pains me, I'm going to have to hand you over to the consul to arrange your passage back to Japan. Yes, I did stow away after all. I couldn't really expect any different. So, you should get back to your cabin now. Sholmes! Sholmes can do it for me. Sholmes can fucking save my ass. The chicken. It looks like my study tour to Great Britain is over before it's even begun, then. To think that only days ago, Cosmo and I were laughing together about how we tear up the streets of London. That seems like a distant memory now. My lock is still broken. Oh, what's that? Is it someone weeping?
Why is she holding the sword?
Susato-san? Ah! Naruhodo-san, I didn't know you had returned. Oh, well, I haven't been back long. Inspector Hosonaga just told me I should pack, you know, ready to leave the ship tomorrow and all that. No! I still can't believe this has happened. I can't believe someone's life can be over just like that. Susato-san. Sholmes. Sholmes can help. I'm hoping. He had such grand ideas for this visit to Great Britain. So many dreams. And now they've been cruelly taken away, just as he has. I thought I could never forgive the person responsible. But now we know the truth, and that it was just an accident. Just a silly series of mishaps. It's too much, Naruhodo-san. It's just too much. Yes, I know. I wish there was something I could say. Nope, it's Hosonaga. Inspector! My duty was to see Asogi-san safely to Great Britain, but I failed. And I caused his two closest friends great pain and suffering as a result. I've let everyone down. And I will do anything to make up for my terrible blunder. Nobody blames you, Inspector. What the fuck is this? I'm freaking out. Oh, because he's here. Gayness activate. Surprise, Mr. Naruhodo. What is the meaning of this? Oh, a trifling matter. Simply that in my head, I think I shall always picture you wearing those shackles. Without them, the balance seems all wrong. It's distracting. Sorry? So I decided to restore them, for old time's sake, shall we say. You are a stowaway after all. He thinks this is funny. Sholmes, help. Save me, Daddy. Mr. Sholmes.
Girl, he is not daddy.
He's...
No, get your shit together.
Sorry.
Get your shit together.
We do appreciate all your assistance. I'd like to thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Not at all, not at all. And though it's a little late, may I offer my sincere condolences? The loss of your companion is truly heart-rending, my bad. It's trending on Twitter. I hope you're able to fulfill some of his aspirations in his honor. I'm afraid that won't be possible. We shall be disembarking at the next port in Hong Kong. We have to return to Japan and make a full report about everything that's happened. What? Wait a minute. It's just me that has to go back, isn't it? I mean, I was the stowaway.
She also a stowaway?
No, she wasn't. The terms of the study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. It was to be one lawyer and one assistant. Was to be. In the light of Mr. Asogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead. Oh no, I don't care for me, but... Poor Susato-san. My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know. All you require is one lawyer, and the study tour can continue, surely. But there is no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Sholmes. We know of no other lawyer. Qualifications, you say? I have none of those. Any qualifications obtained in your own country will be of little value in Great Britain, I'm afraid. Oh, but anyway, the voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourselves another suitable lawyer. Yes? You know what to do. Mr. Zato. Yes? Do you think perhaps I might be able to do it? Ah, but you're not a lawyer, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, unless... Are you studying law? No, I'm not, but... I'm sorry. In that case, I don't think there's even a chance it could work. But as I said, there is still more than a month before we reach England shores. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I have a month in which to study, to learn what I must do to become a lawyer in Great Britain. Mr. Naruhodo, that's ridiculous. Are you seriously suggesting anybody could learn all of that in just 40 days? There's only one way to find out. I would work my fingers to the bone, Inspector, every single day. Will you let me try? And if by the time we reach Great Britain, I haven't learned enough to be recognized as a lawyer, I'll take whatever punishment is deemed appropriate. But why put yourself in such a difficult position? For Kazuma, he said that there was something he had to do in Great Britain, and that he would sacrifice anything to make it happen. He was passionate about it. I can't let all that passion just come to nothing. And anyway, it's for my own benefit, too. I will become a lawyer. I have to. What do you say, Miss Usato? Ayo! I think it's a wonderful idea. Thank you. So, what does our bespectacled inspector friend say? Are you serious? One lawyer and one assistant. The numbers are indisputable. No, this is madness. It's fascinating, wouldn't you agree? Fascinating. The duty and rules are the dull routine of existence that we all abhor. Give us interest, give us fascination. Speak for yourself. Besides, qualifications are no measure of a man. What matters is his character, no? And you've witnessed ample evidence of this man's exemplary character today with your own eyes. From the early hours of this morning until this very moment now. Despite contending with the passing of his close companion and despite the accusation of guilt, this man has shown resourcefulness, intelligence, and above all, courage. Yes. Very well. I'll think of a clever way to word my report to the Department of Justice. Inspector, after all, I did just make a promise, didn't I? I said I'd do anything at all to make up for my shortcomings here. Oh, thank you, Inspector. Fuck yeah. If you'll excuse me, I must pay a visit to the captain's quarters, I think. I need to discuss what to do next and how best to make my report. Are you ready, fully prepared to attempt this, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I'm going to try. I wonder, would you consider teaching me what I need to know? Everything about being a lawyer? I would be delighted to help you. I am a judicial assistant, after all. Thank you. And, Mr. Naruhodo? I'd like you to take charge of this. What? Me? Are you sure? I'm sure it's what Kazuma-sama would have wanted. Its name is Karuma. Karma? Okay. It's a great sword that's been in the Asogi clan for generations. Very well. I accept. I'll treasure it. Always. So then, Mr. Zato, it seems we'll be working together for some time to come yet. I feel like I'm about to pass out. It'll be an honor, Mr. Naruhodo. And for the next 40 days, I shan't grant you a single minute of freedom. We shall fill every spare moment with study. Yes, that's exactly what I need. But before we begin, I have an earnest favor to ask of you too. Goodness, what is it? Please throw me to the ground. 3 times. Oh, shoved. Shoddy like a melody. What? I should never have doubted you. You were Kazuma-sama's closest friend. Of course you would. I mean, she did do that to me. She fucking threw me over her and fucking threw me to the ground. It should be obvious to me from the start. But I allowed suspicion to get the better of me. And no matter how upset I was feeling, it was completely unforgivable behavior. No, you were in shock. You just found out by me stowing away and the cabin door was locked from the inside. No, I won't let you make excuses for me. Whatever the circumstances, I should never have thrown you. And not just once, but 5 times. That number keeps creeping up, doesn't it? Please, you must. Just take hold of me and throw me. Do it! Don't even think about it! No, I don't even know how. I've never thrown anyone in my life. Very wise, Mr. Naruhodo. This isn't a skill one requires other considerable training. Why are you still here? Mr. Sholmes. I observed your throwing technique several times with great interest. I confess I was most impressed. When did he see that? I presume that will be a form of Japanese wrestling? Oh, well, in a way, it's not wrestling, but my own interpretation of an ancient jujitsu technique. Apparently it's called the Suzato Takedown. Leaves your head swimming, believe me. How beguiling. I'm a practitioner of the combative art myself. I am a somewhat accomplished boxer. There he goes, dancing around again. I wonder if you'd be so kind as to instruct me on the technique of your arresting throw. He keeps almost punching her. He's so close to hitting her, Jesus. Yes, I'd be honored. Then let us not dally. Demonstrate, my dear madame. Oh, of course.
She throws you instead.
She's going to. I know for a fact. Are you ready, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry. Hiya!
God damn it.
As you can see, you throw from the abdomen. Oh yes, interesting indeed. Arresting indeed. And that is what you term the Suzato takedown, is it? Actually, no. That was a Suzato squash. And as my vision slowly faded and life crept out of my body in a groggy state of consciousness, a scene from an evening recently spent with Kazuma flickered into my mind. Oh my fucking god, there's more. Jesus fucking Christ. Karuma? Kaduma. That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down through generations of the Asogi clan. I can't believe you managed to get permission to bring it with you. I mean, taking a katana on a study tour is more than a little irregular, surely. A Japanese man's sword is a soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Kaduma guides me. I truly believe that. So its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two? Not that you would need much compelling on that subject. There's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain, and I'll sacrifice anything to make it happen. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course, I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. That important thing you had to do. I still don't know what that was. And you never will. But I'm going to see the place for myself and work it out. In Great Britain's capital, London.
Oh, thank God.
Fucking finally. God fucking damn it. That took 3.5 hours on top of like the 1.5 hour stream that we did last time for this. This chapter was 5 hours. My God. God. Chat, thank you guys for coming out. Have a good day. Fucking God, I'm gonna go pass out. I'll see you guys later.